like the big old guys, too. Like, I know you got to block. I saw it this year. A lot of guys that can block. The safeties out there, that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, 5'11", 210, under a 4.5. It's pretty good. Cody Ford, big old lineman from frickin' Oklahoma. They ain't mad about it. They ain't mad about him at all. So anyway, let's be honest. There ain't anybody in that draft that got taken yesterday to get you all hot and bothered, get you all excited. Purdue just got a hell of a commitment. This just happened. Purdue got a kid named Jihad Proctor from High Point. He committed to Purdue. He averaged 19.9 points a game last year. How about Purdue? He just committed. My sources say he just committed. Wow. How about that? You get a guy that averaged 19 points a game. I'm not saying he's going to average 19 forever, but as a junior, this kid averaged 16.5. He's immediately eligible, too. Wow. Holy hell. Had 25 against Gardner-Webb in the championship game. They lost. Ooh, doggy. Shoots it a little bit, too. Uh-oh. Whoa, ruh-roh. There you go. Breaking news right there. Jihad Proctor, Purdue. It's pretty, man, oh, man. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on in college basketball, and a lot of guys are committing. But this Proctor kid, you know what? How about that? You lose Carson Edwards. You bring in a guy that averaged 20 in Division I basketball. Now, I'm not saying Division I basketball at High Point is the same as Division I basketball at Purdue, but I will tell you this, the kids that I averaged, the two of them that were players of the year in the MAC, could have started on any Big Ten team their senior year, any one. I don't care. And Big Ten teams were good. Big Ten teams were good back then. So there you go. Man, a lot of stuff happening. Everybody's starting to whine about the college basketball trial. We can hit on that if you'd like. Trying to get McAfee on today. McAfee is announcing the Colts' third-round pick, Pat Mack. It'll be fun. Man, oh, man. It looked like a hell of a part. Hey, Kyle, did you watch the entire draft? Did you watch a lot of it?
I fell asleep around pick 28.
Yeah.
It was just so late, and I got so bored.
You got bored with it?
Yeah, once the Colts are done, and I think who traded, the Giants traded back into the first round, I was sort of checked out.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I watched when the Colts got going a little bit. I'm on a Sopranos binge, and then I had a bunch of my friends telling me, "How can you watch this crap?" And I'm like, I didn't, but I did know when the Colts were coming up, so I wanted to watch. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wow. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would have found out by watching that I didn't know. I mean, other than like every guy that ever played another sport is great at that other sport. Like the fat kid that is the center he got picked 18th. Oh, he's a great baseball player. I watched him swing. He looked like he was swinging underwater. But every guy is great at the other sport, and that's how it goes. That's exactly how it goes. So anyway, how about Lee Corso leaving in the middle of the whole thing? Lee Corso got up, mumbled something about Haskins, and got the hell out. He just walked off the set. That might be, I'm not saying it is, that might be the last time that Corso's on TV. Yeah, I get it, Dale Speckman. There are some great life stories. The life stories about a lot of these kids makes me sad. I was talking, and I have talked to a number of college coaches today, or not today, over the last, I don't know, because it drives me nuts, the lack of fathers. The situations that so many of these kids grew up in is horrific because there's no fathers. I mean, it's unbelievable. But you're right. There are great stories and sad stories to me. Like, man, where the hell are the dads? Where the hell are they? I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me. Jeez. But anyway, that's kind of, no, that's neither here nor there, but you got to be kidding me. Tell me you're kidding me. Tell me you're kidding me. People are mad. People are mad at Lee Corso because he put on a head face of, this is just ridiculous. Haskins. They're calling he was wearing blackface. How ridiculous. How absolutely ridiculous. He put on a headgear of a kid. Oh, man. It's unbelievable. Dale says there's a lot of good father-son thing. Good. I'm glad to hear that because that has not been the norm, at least in basketball, at least what I have seen. So I'm very happy to hear that. But I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. The world's an amazing place. Amazing place. Lee Corso is being and people that are saying it don't matter, so I shouldn't even give them. But he always puts on a headgear. Anyway, what a day today. What a great day today. Hope you're enjoying it. It is Friday. Tonight, the Colts it's going to be a blast tonight because they're just going to pick guys, and every slap on TV is going to act like they know, but they don't know. Because I will tell you this, I will absolutely trust, who the hell's calling me from Lawrenceburg? I will trust, without question, Chris Ballard to pick down and improve the Colts far more than I will trust anybody on my television telling me that that's wrong. Far more. Not even close. And I'm going to give you names and different guys all day. And you guys can figure it out. I mean, there isn't anybody alive that knows what Chris Ballard's going to do, and good. That's the way it should be. Why should anybody know what Chris Ballard's going to do? I'll tell you, the worst selection is that kid Hollywood Brown. Not only is he little, and we have talked about that, but he's 160 pounds, never going to be more than 170. But he's got a Liz Frank injury, which, man, oh, man, that ain't great. I'm not rooting against anybody. I root for all these guys. I want them all to do well, except when they play the Colts. I don't care. But the one thing that I would say is I'm glad the Colts did not draft a 170-pound wide receiver when they already have a 170-pound wide receiver. Now, they didn't have a chance to do it because he was out in front, but I got a lot of people asking me, don't you think they should have drafted or would they have drafted that kid? No. You don't need another 170-pound wide receiver. A lot of people, I'm looking at my email first time, a lot of people like this guy, Greedy Williams, a corner from LSU. See, this is what I like when I see a corner, this combination, size, strength, and speed. That's it. That's it. Yes, I agree, Doug. Hey, Dan, this tells it all. Diehard fans are there in the front row. When their team picks, their expressions tell you they have no idea who the player is. Kind of funny. Boy, is that true. Honest to God, is that true? Yeah, I want Greedy Williams too. I do. Look, I want a good corner. Very, very, very sad note in basketball. And those of you that are, what's the right word, old enough. Those of you that are old enough, remember John Havlicek as a true icon. John Havlicek was a great college basketball player at Ohio State. John Havlicek played for the Browns, actually decided to go play for the Browns in a spring training / exhibition. I don't know if he played during the regular season. He's kind of holding out. Next thing you know, he's with the Celtics. Next thing you know, he's in the Hall of Fame. And he is the guy that really, in the world of college or professional basketball, when you go back to who really talked or who really moved without the ball, it was John Havlicek. I remember they always talked about putting an odometer, pedometer, whatever they called it, on his legs to see how far he ran during a game. He was always moving without the basketball, always cutting, always moving, always coming off screens at a time when that's not necessarily what people did. John Havlicek passed away. I'm not happy about John Havlicek passing away. It tells me once again, everybody gets older. It really does. Everybody gets older, and I hate it. I hate the fact that we all get older, and then we all die. That sucks. I don't like it. But John Havlicek passing away is a big deal in the world of basketball. It really is. It's a very big deal in the world of basketball because Hondo, as he was called, is one of the all-time icons of college basketball. He's a little bit like Sandy Koufax in baseball, like that kind of classy guy. You know what I mean? That kind of guy, that kind of talent, that kind of lasting impact on the sport, and that kind of conducting of himself and the way he went about his business and carried himself both while he played and post-playing. So that's a big deal in college basketball. It really is. It's a very, very big deal, and I hate it. I do. Hondo. A lot of us know. A lot of us just knew him by Hondo, man. And as Dan Ross, the coach up at Purdue, said, hey, guess what? A lot of us, including Dan, were Hondo in the backyard. Now it was always Bob Love, but a lot of guys were Hondo. All right, we're going to come back, take some phone calls. What do you think the Colts should do? Greedy Williams as a corner? I think the Colts need corner help. Big old lineman? I think the Colts could always use big old lineman help. Big-time wide receiver? I think the Colts, A.J. Brown, 85 catches, 1,300 yards. I think the Colts could always use wide receiver help. We'll come back, talk about it.
Start strong. Start new traditions. Start your month of May on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course at the IndyCar Grand Prix. Get up close and personal with the stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. See the excitement of 9 rights, 5 lefts, and 1 yard of bricks. And walk on the track after the checkered flag waves. Opening weekend is May 10th and 11th at the IndyCar Grand Prix. Kids 15 and under get in free. Learn more and get your tickets at ims.com. This is Indy. This is May.
There are times in life when certain situations are unavoidable. As life passes, we get a little slower and a little more achy than the year before. All part of life. But when we lose the ability for intimacy with the one we love, it can feel much worse. Unfortunately, the lady we love typically feels like this situation is just because of her. As men, we know that's just not true. We want that spark back just as much as she does. The Indianapolis Men's Clinic physicians hear this from struggling couples every day. Fortunately, that struggle in your relationship from erectile dysfunction can be gone. One simple visit to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic with a same-day solution. The joy of your relationship will be back. And the best part of it is seeing that spark back in a happy relationship. Call 999-9000. It's simple, safe, and private. 999-9000. Clinic visit, evaluation, and testing is just $99. IndyMen'sClinic.com for more information. 999-9000.
Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is spring cleaning. We have Ram 1500s up to $15,000 off MSRP. Lease a Pacifica starting at $389 per month or a Jeep starting at $299 a month. We have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles priced under book value. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Brownsburg.
Not all will have the credit to qualify. Price excludes tax, title, license, government fees, and documentary fee. All advertised vehicles are subject to actual dealer availability. Please check with your dealer for more information. Some vehicles offered for sale may be subject to unrepaired manufacturer safety recalls.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents. When generic insurance takes hold, one handsome man and one flightless bird are teaming up to save the world. Money. Their message? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Their mission? Savings. Their relationship? Best friends. Say hello to Liberty Mutual's new spokes team. And Doug.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
Pros know getting the next job means doing this one right. On time and on budget. Lowe's is here to help by stocking the brands you trust to power through any job. Like Hitachi Power Tools, soon to be known as Metabo HPT. Same tools, same warranty, new name. We also stock the quantities of the supplies you use most. Buy in bulk and get additional savings on fence pickets, posts, and concrete every day. For your next job and every job after, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. See ProDesk for details.
Hey, it's Dan Doggett here for Window Nation. Go to windownation.com. That's right. Window Nation right now is giving them away. They're damn near giving them away with 50% off and free blinds. Now, look, here's the other deal with Window Nation. $69, as low as $69 a month for a whole house of windows. That's less than a phone bill. That's less than damn near everything. All you got to do is go to Window Nation, windownation.com, 800-5-WINDOWS. Look, here's the deal. Very simple. You go to Window Nation, you have them out to the house. They come out. They take a look. You see what they got. You realize no matter what style of window, they have the right one for you. You like bay windows? Well, damn, they got those for you too. What else do you like? I don't know. Whatever kind you like, they got at Window Nation. Let me go through all the different kind of windows for you. Bay window, bow window, double hung, wood, vinyl. You choose, 50% off. House of Windows, $69. That's cheaper than your cell bill. And if you call this week, Window Nation will give you free blinds. Didn't I already say that? Less than $2, just over $2 a month. Get brand new energy efficient windows and free blinds. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. You will not be disappointed. May I say it again? 866-90-NATION.
The month of May is almost here. Check out our events tab to stay tuned with all things Indy 500 and month of May. Don't miss a moment. Online now, 1070thefan.com.
Last year, the Colts started a rapid rebuild with the NFL draft.
With these 6 picks,
turning the boys in blue into a playoff contender.
Quentin Nelson.
Now it's time to find more pieces to our Super Bowl puzzle. The Fan continues live coverage of the 2019 NFL Draft tonight, beginning at 6:30. You are warned, AFC. We're coming for you. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive radio home of the Indianapolis Colts. Dan Dockich, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Look, I'm not going to lie and say that I know whether or not moving back or up is a good thing, but I know this. I trust Chris Ballard. I do. And the interesting picks in that draft, I mentioned the Hollywood kid, man, he's got a Liz Frank disease now. I'm sure he's going to be fine. And I love the story of how he went to junior college. And this is a kid that basically made himself into a pro. He made himself. Like, I'm telling you, when I saw his story, went to a junior college, he's 160 pounds. Like, you can't bet against that kid, in my opinion. Then you got 3 first-rounders from Clemson, and they all seem like great kids. The one kid had a problem with steroids. Do we really anymore even care about anything? Like, do we care about anything? Do we care about steroids? Do we care about, anything? It's going to be really Dexter Lawrence. I don't know. It's like I'm reading an article about him, and I always go by what I feel. And in the article about him as the 17th pick, it said, well, tested positive performance-enhancing substance. He fills a hole. It's not even a big deal anymore. It's not. Obviously, the Tyreek Hill thing, if you haven't heard about that, that is going to be a big deal, and that dude should never play football again. I mean, and I'm not posturing here. You listen to that audio tape, he should never play. I don't know what you do with him. It's just a bad guy. Just a very, very bad guy. But anyway, Marquise Brown is this little guy, and, man, he's just a badass. He really is. He's a badass, and I'm going to root for him. I'm glad the Colts don't have him. We already got one smallest wide receiver. I don't know that you need two. But you do root for some of these guys. You do. Like, I root for them more than I root for coaches. Funny, a guy that I know said the other day, it's an absolute shock that the basketball program at Clemson is being investigated before the football program. It's an absolute shock. But anyway, Dabo Swinney got himself $9 a year. Guys, if you want to go into coaching, talk about God a lot. The Haskins kid said the league done messed up. Okay. Remember this from Mike Tyson, America's greatest philosopher? Everybody has a plan until what? Till they get punched in the face. I don't want to hear about the league done screwed up. I'm going to take on the league. I'm going to wreck this league. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I hear when I hear any player talk. The Hollywood Brown kid talk. Any player talks, I hear blah, 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 blah. I ain't mad at him, but that's what I hear. Just telling you. Do you have even a problem if a football player takes steroids? Me? No. Not sure why. I'm not right. Do I have a problem if a kid takes them? Yeah. But I'm not trying to raise America's kids. You are. You guys, you social media warriors are trying to raise everybody's kids. I'm not. I'm just saying I have a problem with it in baseball, not in football. And the only reason I have a problem with steroids in baseball is because you're in the minor leagues and some guy decides, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Another guy decides he's going to do it. That guy's in the big leagues. The other guy's back home selling insurance or being the assistant weight coach at his high school. Just telling you. And football is just crazy. Football, you can die. Football, you know what I mean? You can die. One of these guys who, for some reason, is a complete jackass to me, a guy named Matt Miller. I guess he's at NFL Draft Scout. I don't know who he is, but he says don't be surprised if the Colts don't move back again. Hell, I don't know. You got to pick somebody, don't you? I mean, I think you do. You got to pick somebody. Seems to me like you can keep moving back, but don't you want to draft somebody? I think the big tackles would be gone. I think the Colts are going to take Greedy Williams if he's there or one of the big tackles. But I am telling you point blank, I have zero idea. I hope at some point, though, they get Nick Allegretti. If they get Nick Allegretti, you're going to see a kid that's going to make the football team. If the Colts get a kid named Nick Allegretti from Illinois, you are going to see a guy that is going to make the football team of the Colts. I guarantee it. I'll bet you anything. I will bet you whatever you want to bet. Remember, I told you. Mike, what do you got?
Hey, Dan, thanks for taking my call, sir.
Sure.
Hey, I just want to let you know that I'm riding with Chris Ballard too, buddy. I feel the same way you do on that. I trust him, and whatever he feels like he needs to do for this team, he's going to do it. And I trust his opinion and decision making. Also wanted to make a comment about what you just mentioned about steroids in baseball, and which I don't co-sign everything you say, but I do agree with you on that as well. Guys taking steroids.
Look at me today.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, my God, this is going to look like I'm kissing butt, but I'm really not. But I do want to say I got a problem with guys in baseball taking steroids, too, as a lifelong baseball fan. I look at A-Rod, who was one of my favorite players ever. And if A-Rod doesn't take steroids, he doesn't need to take steroids. He's this kind of player. Then why did he do it if he didn't need to?
That's what I've always said that about Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds,
if you don't need to, then why the hell did you do it? And
then why did you do it?
Right. No, I agree. Hey, look, I totally agree with that. I appreciate your call, and sounds like America's smartening up and just saying Dockich is right all the time because I'm pretty much am. Simon, how are you? Yellow. Simon. Did I miss him? Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Hello.
Coach. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Hey, a couple things. First of all, obviously, I know you discussed it earlier, but losing a legend like John Havlicek. Man, you know what? I don't think you can turn on not just Boston highlights, but just NBA in whole and just not hear Johnny Moe saying Havlicek stole the ball.
Right.
Just, I mean, I can just hear it in my mind, thinking about that and how excited Johnny Moe was on announcing that. And obviously, I know he had a fantastic career above and beyond that. But obviously, we truly lost a legend. On the draft, I wanted to ask you something. I don't know if I'm sure you probably consider it because you're a hell of a lot smarter than me. But do you think the Colts and Chris Ballard is, in regards to the wide receiver, thinking that since Andrew Luck in the last couple of years has not been healthy to work with some of these young wide receivers, like Peyton used to do, like he might show up down at Duke or someone like that and have, these,
yeah, what's the question? Come on.
The off-season throwing, just to get his timing and everything too. Since this is the first year that Andrews had a chance to have a healthy off-season, that Ballard might think that that might help out some of his young receivers get some chemistry with Luck.
Well, I would hope they're working. Appreciate the phone call. I would hope they're working. I would think they would be. I mean, that's always a thing that you do. You try to get, with your guys, wherever it is. Sometimes the guys have a camp wherever they live. They bring a bunch of guys out. They play golf. They jackass around. They do whatever. Sometimes they – there was a lot of times, I believe, is what I was told, was that what's the Zionsville High School. Luck and those guys used to go out there and run patterns and do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think so. I think that you've got to do that. And if you don't do that, you're behind the eight ball. Damon, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Dan? I just want to say love the show.
Thank you.
Wanted to comment on the steroid thing you were talking about in the NFL. I agree with you also. If nothing else, a rehabilitative perspective. I mean, these guys break fingers and toes and everything else. I played football. I know you break fingers and you're right back in the game. I understand there's different remedies for that, but we're talking about more serious injury that may need some rehabilitation. If it was even monitored, it would help out these athletes, because it's like they're getting too fast for what their tendons and bones can handle anymore. It seems
so you're
like.
saying they should take steroids?
I'm just saying, it's a whole different monster than baseball. Just like the other callers commenting about Barry Bonds and them and the home runs. I mean, what about the guy from the Angels? I'm not a big baseball fan. McGuire. McGuire probably isn't even mentioned if he isn't on steroids, because he was on the decline when he all of a sudden hit 60-some home runs or whatever it was.
Appreciate the phone call. Thank you. There you go. We got to do better. Yeah, we got to do better on the phone. We do. I'm sorry, we do. We got to do better. This is it's nice, it's good, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about steroids all day if you don't mind. I mean, I'm just not. But we got to have a little more energy, a little more clarity in our phone calls today. I think to make this a very good day. I do. I mean, hey, look, I'm not trying to be a jackass here. I'm just telling you, if I'm sitting at home, I always go by, if I was sitting at home listening to these calls, I'd be like, damn, what the hell are you doing? I'm clicking them off. More me, less you. I hate to say that, but I think we're going to have to go that route. I am. I think we might have to. Yeah. Dan, what about the guy punching a woman who was a top 3 pick and slid to 21st? You're talking about that Simmons kid. Yeah, he didn't slide to 21st, but I thought Trey Wingo handled that very well. I did not watch all of the other ones, but I did. I did watch when Trey was talking about, the kid Jeffrey Simmons, and I thought he did a hell of a job. I did. I thought he did a hell of a job. All right, we'll come back. I'm trying to get Pat Mack on the show around 2 o'clock. Kevin Bowen coming up top of the hour. He's been in the building, KB has. He's been in there, and he knows what the Colts are thinking. The Colts will go back over what picks they have today. It's going to be fun today. It's going to be really, really fun today. They got the 34th pick. The hell? That's the second pick of the second round. Let's go. We're up next.
Last year, the Colts started a rapid rebuild with the NFL draft.
With the 6th pick,
turning the boys in blue into a playoff contender.
Quentin Nelson.
Now it's time to find more pieces to our Super Bowl puzzle. The Fan continues live coverage of the 2019 NFL Draft tonight, beginning at 6:30. You are warned, AFC. We're coming for you. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive radio home of the Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, DriveHublerChevy.com is the place to go because Hubler Chevrolet has the largest selection of Chevys in the state of Indiana. That's right, they do. They have the largest selection and the best deals, including the best warranty. 10 years, 200,000-mile limited warranty. Are you kidding me? Go to DriveHublerChevy.com.
Rascal Flatts Summer Playlist Tour. Saturday, September 14th, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center.
I like the sound of that.
Country music's greatest vocal group, Rascal Flatts, with special guests.
But if he ever singles,
Jordan Davis and Morgan Evans. Reserve seat tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Did you know that more than 80% of lightning fatalities are men? In recent years, hundreds of unlucky men died from lightning strikes because they did not seek shelter from an approaching storm, but instead kept on fishing, boating, golfing, biking, working outdoors. They paid the ultimate price needlessly and left their families behind to face a life of loss and sorrow. You don't ride a motorcycle without a helmet. You don't go boating without a life jacket. Lightning safety is no different. Be prepared by recognizing danger and knowing what to do and what not to do. If you can hear thunder, even a distant rumble, lightning is close enough to strike you. Rubber-soled shoes offer no protection. Neither do rain shelters or tents. Immediately seek shelter in a substantial building or a metal-topped vehicle. To learn more about how you can protect yourself and your family from lightning, visit lightningsafety.noaa.gov. This message brought to you by the National Weather Service.
I was dragged underneath the car. It was a frightening experience, and I just wasn't going to die that day.
Danny was a road worker on a road job site. Just minutes before his day ended, it happened.
I don't even know the amount of feet that she dragged me underneath the car.
A reckless driver in a construction zone hit Danny.
It was so quick that I couldn't even react.
Lifeline was called in.
I sustained a traumatic brain injury. I was bleeding from my head and both of my ears. I had to have my head drilled.
Danny would see the inside of a hospital for more than 3 months.
I just wanted to go home. Home is where my heart was.
10 seconds.
They took her to jail.
And your life changes forever.
I'm not vindictive, but you got what you got coming to you.
If you injure a road worker because of careless driving through a construction zone, you will be prosecuted. No excuses.
God help you,
For your sake and theirs, read the signs. Slow down. Pay attention.
A message from Indiana Laborers Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Congratulations to our Indiana Pacers for hanging tough in the face of adversity after losing our best player early.
Oladipo is seated.
Gold didn't quit. But this year's end is only the beginning of better things to come. Full health, the NBA draft, and free agency are the path forward. The Pacers rebuild and reload, and you can hear it all here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. Dan Dakich, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Right back to back, J-Tony at JTony20. Jesus, what's with the callers today? And then John Bowdy says, what's up with the callers, man? Pat Mack's going to join us at, he'll join around 1:30 our time. He's out there. He's going to announce the pick. He's going to announce the Colts' third-round pick. He has to attend a Legends luncheon with the commish. So there you go. Love me some Pat Mack. Jihad Proctor has committed to Purdue. Man, he averaged 19.9. That's a hell of a deal, man. Jeez. Good for Purdue. I'm telling you. What a deal for Bob. What do you got?
I just thought you needed a change up. Can you hear me, Dan?
Yeah.
I just thought since you needed a change up, maybe we'd talk a little bit IU basketball with your insight knowledge there. Do they still have the 3 scholarships available there? Have they done anything with those?
They have not. No, they still have them available. Yes.
Now
they got the one goofball on campus right now, Quinones, who wants everybody to stroke his ego. Hope he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, I hear you. Another Romeo, huh?
I don't know about that. I mean, if he's as good as Romeo, then whatever. But he's just just the kind of kid that gets you fired. Go ahead. What else?
What's your thoughts on Joey Brunk? Help for us?
Who's us? Who do you play for?
For IU.
He's all right. I mean, he's okay. I mean, hopefully he can give a little leadership. I mean, he's probably maybe not quite as good as Max Bielefeld, or maybe right on the level of Max Bielefeld, but he's a nice pickup. They need an interior guy. My hope would be Deron Davis would get in great shape, have a fantastic summer and a big time next year. But I think Joey Brunk's a pretty good pickup.
Good. Okay, well, thanks for taking my call, Dan.
You got it, buddy. Thank you. Colts traded down. The world of football is mad because Daniel Jones, quarterback out of Duke, was picked number 6 overall. And I swear to God, I'm looking at the two people right now on television. One never played, and the other, is never played. Lady, neither of these, the hairspray on the left and the lady on the right, they're all common, and neither one has any idea what they're talking about. I mean, no idea. Now they're talking about expectations for Dexter Lawrence and DeAndre Baker in New York. Neither one of these people have any idea what they are talking about. I don't care. I am not pandering because somebody is a good-looking guy or a woman. I will not pander. They have no idea. Zero clue. Which is, I guess is what we're used to now. We are all used to, and we accept it. But the truth of the matter is, man, they have no idea. The boards, they have no idea. And you got to sit here and listen. That's why I don't watch. I don't want to hear somebody that has no. I want to hear Ballard. I want to hear that. And I want to hear Venturi. I want to hear guys that not only are studying tape but know what they're studying. I don't need to hear Kravitz or Doyle or this lady or this hairspray or hell. I don't need to hear me. The only thing I'm giving you in terms of being educated on this is I'm giving you a little bit of our conversation between me and Chris Ballard 2 nights ago. But other than that, there isn't a single person alive that knows more about football than Gil Brandt. I'm just telling you. Stop using a vernacular that you know nothing about. All black people don't use an urban vernacular. Hashtag bootlick. It's my friend Eric McLaughlin. I think Eric has a little problem. I think I may have to send the cops out. I don't know. Eric's got a little stalker thing going. Let's see here. That's how I look at it. I could be dead wrong. All right, Jeff, what do you got?
Yeah, Dan, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Last night, Matt Taylor was questioning the swap and the Redskins, the pick they made for the Colts, and, the guy sounded like a hell of a pass rusher.
Uh-huh. Hello?
Hello?
The guy sounded like a hell of a pass rusher. He's got a heart
the guy
problem.
Out of Mississippi State, Matt Taylor said, it may come back to bite us. I mean, this guy.
If I were Matt Taylor, I would be so happy they gave me that job that the last thing I would say is anything critical of Chris Ballard. That would be the last thing that I would say because Matt Taylor has no idea.
Yeah.
None.
Well.
And the kid has a heart problem. Why wasn't Mississippi State better?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody think about that? So, little Franklin Matt needs to pretty much just announce the games, be a homer, keep his job for 100 years, and be happy with that. Matt doesn't really need to criticize if that's what he was doing. Matt Taylor's but truthfully, I can criticize Ballard. It ain't going to cost me a job. Matt Taylor, it might. He needs to be careful there because it's not like he's been doing this for a zillion years and not like he's an icon and couldn't be replaced. So Matt needs to pretty much just relax on that one there. Kid's got a heart problem. I wonder if anybody realizes that Mississippi State wasn't any good. Appreciate the phone call. I mean, look, I try to keep it real here. I mean, if you work for the team, I mean, let's be honest. It's why I'm the only guy around, and not the only guy, but that gives you unfiltered because I don't work for any of these teams. Other guys work for the teams. I don't work for no team. I don't work for anybody. Chris, what you got?
Nope. Double D, how's your day going, buddy?
Good, man. Nice. I'm here in Boston, actually. I'm going to go to the Red Sox game, and then I'm going to go to Harvard softball. Good. Very good. Thank you for asking. Very nice.
With all these bad calls, you need a beer and a Jaeger bomb later. But let's talk Pacers. How about why is Doug McDermott not getting any time if you're going to pay a guy $7 million? And then the other thing I want to talk about is, should we look at trying to get a Patrick Beverly in the summer? And then how much does a NBA coach really matter in the NBA? So I'll listen to you and have a good day, buddy.
I'll go last the first. I think an NBA coach definitely matters. I think you've got the adjustments that you make in a variety of ways matter. Now, talent matters more. San Antonio won last night, but nobody's thinking San Antonio, even though they have the two best players in the series. No one's thinking San Antonio is going to become the NBA champs. Well, guess what? They don't have Duncan. They don't have Ginobili. They don't have Parker anymore. So an NBA coach matters, but it's not the end-all, be-all. You need the right pieces that fit. In terms of a Patrick Beverly, I'm not going to lie. I would love to see a guy like Patrick Beverly. The guys that you have now with the Pacers are the perfect fits, except they're not. Here's what I mean. In theory, a guy coming in averaging 19 is the perfect fit, right? Perfect fit. except he's a pain in the ass. Except he's not, and I'm talking about Tariq Evans. Then, when Oladipo gets hurt, I feel like Kevin Pritchard did a great job getting the best guy, Wes Matthews, until guess what? He wasn't. Bitch and whine and moan and complain and all this behind the scenes. Not good enough on the court. So, yes, a guy like Patrick Beverley that does all the tough stuff, whoo, man. Brandon Reed, okay, we should probably be done with callers today. They're equivalent to listening to the commercial about the guy getting drug under the car. Guys, I got to tell you, can I speak honestly about the guy getting drug under the car? It's a very sad thing. I assume it's true. I don't know. But I swear to God, it makes me turn the damn channel. I hate to say it. I don't want to be depressed. It's Friday. I'm telling you, it's a Jaeger bomb Friday. Jaeger, I never even had a Jaeger bomb. A little sake or something. I don't know. I'm going to go drink Sam Adams because I'm in Boston. I'm with you, Brandon. I'm with you. That thing makes me want to drag myself under a damn car. We'll be back.
Islanders in the Caribbean like to say that if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and that's great advice for the stock market, too. It's easy to get upset when the market falls, but what we have to remember is that this too shall pass. Now, that's easy to say, but sometimes it can feel hard to do. So in times like these, when stock prices are swinging wildly one day to the next, making you worry that your financial future might be at risk, here's the advice you need. Don't feel that you have to go it alone. I invite you to talk with one of my experienced financial planners at Edelman Financial Engines. Let's take a look at your investments and see if they're doing what you need and expect. We'll either reassure you that you're doing what you should be doing, or we'll give you recommendations to help you get the peace of mind you need so you can, well, wait for the sun to shine once again. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Ever wonder why certain jewelers try to convince you not to buy a world-class designer ring?
The reason that they are steering you away from designer rings is simply because they can't get them.
That's Michael Clavina, who used to work at an ordinary jewelry retailer.
They didn't have the ability to carry these lines, so they steer you away from it to steer you more towards their generic run-of-the-mill styles. The quality is a world of difference when you look closely at them. With mass production of pieces like the store that I used to work for, they don't have the quality control that these designers do.
But at Diamonds Direct, you can choose from over 4,000 rings from all the top designers like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, Henry Dossi. Handcrafted rings on every woman's wish list.
When you combine the quality of the designers that we carry here at Diamonds Direct and our ability to offer pricing that is just unbeatable, it builds a piece for her that is unique to her and special in every way.
Diamonds Direct. Get store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, Dan Doggett here for Just Add Water Boats, the only place I know of where you can ride before you buy on Indy's only test lake. Just Add Water Boats, east side of town, right off 465. You have seen them, as have I. 400 boats right there. Yamaha, largest Midwest dealer of Yamaha boats, is right here in Indy. It's Just Add Water Boats. The oldest boat dealer in the state is right here in Indy at Just Add Water Boats. Don't wait till it is hot outside to get a boat. Buy now. Factory incentives say this is the best time to buy. And don't forget, they introduced the new Vexus boats. Oh, my God. These fishing boats are unbelievable. Get yourself on over to Just Add Water Boats or go online, justaddwaterboats.com.
Fast, reliable internet. Is that important to your business?
We couldn't work without it.
At Comcast Business, we go beyond fast with amazing solutions and a great deal.
What kind of solutions?
Well, how about automatic 4G LTE backup for complete reliability?
I like the sound of that. What else?
Powerful Wi-Fi that keeps your employees connected, and bandwidth you can allocate between your customers and employees.
I didn't know Comcast Business did that.
Oh, I'm not done yet. Advanced voice solutions at affordable prices. How about business TV that keeps customers entertained?
Okay, I'm convinced. But didn't you say something about a great deal?
Right now, get started with 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add one voice mobility line and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without eco bill and auto pay. Offer ends 5/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Subject to change. Backup limited to update hours.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on homeowners insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you have a cute little reading nook for those rainy days when you want to curl up with a good book, but you don't even read, so you just sit in there during thunderstorms and scroll through memes on your phone and laugh in the darkness. The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the dark, meme-filled corner you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
A natural noise sleep machine. Because nothing says sleep like noise. Next birthday, just send me gift money with Zelle. Now that'll help me sleep better. And you know how I feel about birds, Bev.
Gift better. Send money easily with Zelle. Look for Zelle in your banking app.
Must have a bank account in the U.S. to use Zelle. Zelle is an early warning services trademark.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Day 2 of the 2019 NFL Draft. Tonight at 7 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The newest addition to The Fan, Kevin Bowen, who covers the Colts and Pacers. It's Kevin's Corner, on air with Dan Dockich on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
KB, you've been around that facility when the Colts are drafting. Any surprise that Chris Ballard backed it off and went for more picks?
Not totally surprised, Dan. You know, it seemed like Chris Ballard was hinting at that heavily earlier in the week. And honestly, I don't know how much the board could have been different to really sway his opinion. I think he was pretty set in stone on trading back. Now, maybe if somebody else would have fallen, he goes ahead and pulls the trigger there at 26. But this is a guy that is fully committed to rebuilding through the draft. I mean, when you think about it, he passed on the top pass rusher last year, Bradley Chubb, to trade back, which I think was a very, very smart decision. And now this year, he's passed on one of the more intriguing pass rushers with, you know, some questions in Montez Sweat to trade back again. And I don't know how many GMs in the NFL you would see sit there and think that possibly they could get two of the best pass rushers over the last 2 years and be very content with trading back, but that seems to be the case with Chris.
Yeah, you know, and is it as simple as saying that we trust Chris Ballard?
I think it probably is. Yeah. I mean, you know, he hasn't done much to earn your distrust, certainly. So I do think there's a line that comes where, okay, you know, how much is, you know, trading back and trading back and trading back? You know, do you walk that fine line of potentially missing out on, you know, high-end players? But you traded back last year and you still got Darius Leonard with the 36 overall pick. You got your starting right tackle at 37 overall. So, again, I think he has earned our trust, but I get why people are a little bit like, wow, you know, Montez Sweat, Jerry Tillery, you know, whatever, insert player there. That would have been really nice to get that guy at 26.
You know, what really struck me is when you said what you just said, as we started this interview, Kevin Bowen, nice enough to join us, when you said, look, you go back Bradley Chubb, and now you can go this year, take a guy. I mean, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's Sweat, maybe it's Tillery, but you're passing up two pass rushers at a time when, quite frankly, we all think, I guess, that pass rushing is pretty important in the league, right? I mean, it's kind of the thing that you got to be able to do. Good for Chris if he feels strongly.
It's more than the thing, Dan. And Chris has admitted that. You know, Chris has been on record several times talking to you and talking to all of us saying, you know, if you want to find a rusher in this league, you got to find it in the draft. You know, I've mentioned this stat several times this week, and I'll say it again. Of the top 10 sackers in the NFL last year, 9 played for the team that drafted them. Like, that's just how it works in this league. You draft rushers and you keep them. And if you give them up, you're getting a ransom in return, like Oakland got for Khalil Mack and like, you know, Seattle got for Frank Clark as well. So it just goes back to Chris Ballard so steadfast in his beliefs. You know, I had somebody text me a couple of weeks back saying, you know, Ballard is fascinating and a bit baffling at the same time. And I know baffling sounds like such a negative word, but he's so stringent on his beliefs and doesn't detour from them at all. And to some people, it's a bit maddening, but to others, it is a bit fascinating and like, wow, he is committed to the rebuild. Jim Irsay has given him a ton of leeway to operate like this. I mean, hell, Jim Irsay was tweeting about Montez Sweat during the combine. You don't see that from an owner every day. But again, Ballard is all in on this draft, and he has a ton of draft capital. Now, last year he had a lot. This year he again has a lot, and now he's already had a second-round pick for next year.
Yeah, all right. So moving forward, now when you look at this, it's a little bit fascinating. If you go by what people are projecting, like the easiest one for me to follow is on CBS Sports. So I just, their draft tracker. You got the 6th ranked player, Jawan Taylor, the 16th, the 18th, the 23rd, the 25th, the 26th, the 30th, the 33rd, 35th, all available, and the 37th. By the time you pick, well, they pick in 36th. So where do you expect them to go? Is falling back again possible as well?
No, I hope not. Just because I'm ready to start working. But
me too.
I think it's a real possibility. Honestly, I think Chris is very committed to believing in his scouting staff and believing in the 2019 draft depth. And this isn't only Ballard saying this. A lot of people have mentioned this before, that this year's class is very deep, or I should say very even, late first round all the way to early third round. So, if people want to trade up for Drew Lock or maybe one of the offensive tackles that have fallen or one of these wideouts as well, there's only been one corner that's gone off the board. Maybe Ballard moves back again. But he's in a position. If he wants to use these picks tonight, you can certainly start crossing off needs. And all of them still remain, obviously. You've got D-line. I thought there was a chance maybe you went tackle at 26 if Andre Dillard would have fallen. When does he take a wideout? That's been a lot of debate. And I think, just 2 wideouts went in round 1 as well. But, no, I am definitely not ruling out Chris Ballard trading back again.
I don't think you can really rule out anything, can you? I mean, is there a position where, other than quarterback, I suppose, where you would say, nah, it ain't happening?
No. He even mentioned linebacker last night, which is probably a position we haven't talked enough about. You have 6 linebackers on your roster right now. They're all 24 years old or younger. I mean, it's a very unproven group outside of course, the stud and Leonard and a guy like Anthony Walker who played pretty good ball for you last year. Maybe Mac Wilson out of Alabama. Maybe there's another linebacker that comes off the board tonight to the Colts. Running back would be a bit of I would say linebacker, running back, and tight end. I might have a little bit further down the list. But outside of that, I fully expect a safety to be taken tonight at some point, certainly a defensive lineman. And then I think it's very important to get an offensive tackle. I think that is really key, not only for the current depth here in 2019, but I think it's important to – a big part of, my belief in this draft, Dan, is, you have to start thinking about passing the torch at key positions. Receiver, offensive tackle, and pass rusher. You've got pretty good players right here, right now at those spots. Hilton, Costanzo, and Justin Houston. But all those guys are at least 30 years old or getting to 30 years old. So I think tonight it would be well served for the Colts if they could find some younger guys at those spots that they can groom. So when those guys do get to that age where they're no longer playing at that high level, you don't have this drop-off like you did kind of in the Polian, Grigson to Ballard eras.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, Costanzo, I swear to God, it feels like he has been here forever. I mean, you can argue whether it's the best, great, elite, not elite. I don't care, but I'll tell you this: he's been here. He had the one stretch last year where he was injured, but that dude, for the most part, has showed up. I'm totally with you. That is a part of the. Let's go further on that, Kevin. That's a part of drafting players as well. Every guy that gets drafted doesn't have to be an automatic starter. I mean, he can be projected as a starter when a contract is up from the current starter. That's part of the depth of drafting.
Exactly. And, you brought back 21 of 22 starters, and you signed Devin Funchess and Justin Houston. If I had a ready-made depth chart right now, I'm not sitting here with a insert draft pick here, insert draft pick there. certainly you would like for some of these rookies to show up in training camp in the preseason and prove that they're better than some of your current talent, but it's nowhere near it was this time last year. And, I guess if you want to look at all of those spots, Dan, I mean, think back to when Tarek Glenn hangs it up a little bit early in 2006. Then you trade a first-round pick in 2007 for Tony Hugo. Hugo's a bust. So now you have to come back and draft Costanzo in 2011. Then you look at pass rusher. Obviously, Freeney and Mathis, the home runs of all home runs. Well, then you whiff on Jerry Hughes here in Indianapolis. You whiff on Bjorn Werner. You whiffed on Terrell Basham. So now it's like, okay, is it Kamoko Turi? Where else do you go at rusher? And the same thing could be said at wideout. You couldn't have passed the torch much better from Marvin Harrison to Reggie Wayne. Then it stalled with Anthony Gonzalez. You're definitely riding the ship very well with T.Y. Hilton. Now it's time to, I think, just make that a smoother transition, because that is how you define, I think, sustained success. And I think that's a huge, huge part of what this draft is all about.
I do too, and that's something that is hard. Don't you agree? It's kind of hard for fans to understand that, because – like last night, every guy that got drafted is going to Canton. I swear to God, except Daniel Jones. Every other guy. We've not seen this since when? Like 10 minutes ago, last year? You know what I mean, Kevin? Right. We want our guy to be the next guy, because that's what it's supposed to be according to what we read or see.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard for fans to see the big picture. And, yeah, there are some fans out there that definitely see it. But you want the ready-made here and now. Can you imagine if the Colts would have drafted a tackle last night at 26? I mean, right. People would have been furious. But then all of a sudden, you get to next March, and let's say Anthony Costanzo, has an injury-plagued year or doesn't play up to par. You don't re-sign him. Now all of a sudden, that guy could be your block in the blind side for Andrew Luck for the next decade. So I think just those are things to keep in mind. Look, I take a glance at this current roster, and I felt like coming into the offseason, the Colts are about 3 or 4 players away from being at near that pinnacle where you felt like they were a legit contender, to maybe represent the AFC. I think Justin Houston is one of those players. I think Devin Funchess I label as maybe a half of that. So now you're at about 1.5 of that 3 to 4 number. I think this draft has to offer you at least somebody, maybe not the all-pro because that's such a high standard like Leonard and Nelson, but can you find a starter out of this class right here and right now? And then I honestly feel like how you grow your roster this year is developing some of your own. I felt like Chris Ballard had a pretty just telling quote last night in that he challenged his scouts earlier this week, because we've heard such a loaded defensive line class, all we've heard for the past 3 months. He said to his scouts, okay, where's Kamoko Turi and where's Tyquan Lewis in this draft class? Like, we drafted them last year in the second round. They played, spurts, but, we need them to make that second-year jump. And the scouts, I think, gave him clearly an answer that he felt comfortable not forcing himself into taking a defensive lineman in round 1. And now it's time for Ture and Lewis to certainly deliver.
Well, I agree with that. I see that's exactly what we're talking. The other guy, would you characterize Quincy Wilson to this point as a bust, or would you characterize Quincy Wilson as developing? Or both?
Yeah, maybe somewhere in between. I don't want to call him a flat-out bust, but he's not even a starter, in your base defense. So I don't know how you could call him, a hit or something like that. He's developing. I mean, he's extremely young. I think he was 20 or 21 years old when you drafted him. But, this is year 3 of a 4-year rookie contract. This is a huge, huge season for Quincy Wilson. I know he came on last year and played pretty well in those nickel packages for you. And, we'll see if the Mike Mitchell acquisition is, helped him get on the correct NFL path. But, that is a huge part to what the future looks like at corner for you, because you found a gem in Kenny Moore as an undrafted free agent, but Quincy Wilson was a second-round pick, and he's a guy that you definitely need to hit on at such an important position in today's NFL.
Well, and this goes to the point that you and I are making. You talked about Lewis and you talked about Autry, and now we're talking about Wilson as guys that are ready or may be ready. I mean, you don't know if they're ready, but guys that are in position to take the mantle and become full-time guys. And that's where I want, I think you made such a good point about that. So if they do take a tackle and people do lose their mind, my guess is that tackle will be starting at left tackle probably within 2 years. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just kind of that's the way you would look at it, right? I mean, if you're the Colts.
And also can't reiterate enough, Dan, how much Chris Ballard is banking on his scouts with these second-round picks. He had 4 last year. He's got 3 now this year. He's got 2 next year. I mean, some GMs would salivate over 9 second-round picks over a 3-year period. And the reason Chris Ballard has a job, largely, is because his predecessors failed in the second round. T.J. Green, Ben Igelana, Tony Hugo, even guys like Kobe Fleener didn't make a second contract. Unfortunately, Jack Muhort had the injury situation. I mean, the Colts have not been a great team in the second round at all over the past 10 or 15 years. Well, boom, what does Ballard do? Yes, Wilson is still, in that question mark category, but he's gone Darius Leonard, Braden Smith. We'll see what happens with Lewis and Turay. And now, as we sit here 6 hours before the draft starts tonight, he's got 3 second-round picks tonight and 2 more next year. And ultimately, I think that's how we will judge a huge chunk of his tenure on what he's done with all the second-round draft capital he's accumulated.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Chappie's tweeting this very thing. He said this could be a replay of 2004. Traded out of round 1, the 29th pick with Atlanta. Got Atlanta's round 2 to 38th and more. Then traded back again with Pittsburgh. Got Pittsburgh's round 2 at 44 and more. Dungy implored Polian to stop trading back, so he took Bob Sanders at 44. That's pretty good wheeling and dealing right there.
That is. Patience paid off right there. I mean,
right?
That is something that definitely worked out well. And I know some fans are like, is it dropping from 26 to 46 a huge fall and you only get a second-round pick in return? And I will admit it, when I first heard the trade details, I was like, wow, that's a pretty big fall. You go 20 spots and you only get a second-round pick in return. But if you look in these crazy trade value charts that are out there for the NFL draft, technically, and each pick is assigned a number value, the Colts actually won that trade, if you want to put it in quotes. Now, you need to cheer for the Washington Redskins to have a poor season next year. But when we look at this trade in particular, certainly the NFL career Montez Sweat has will be a huge factor in how we ultimately grade this, because you had an opportunity to take a very talented, as Chris Ballard said after the draft, Montez Sweat, very talented player. There are some off-the-field questions. There's some health questions, and we'll have to see, because the Colts weren't the only team that obviously passed on him. But that's going to be a huge factor in grading this trade.
Hey, Kevin, I said this. People lose their mind over the draft. All right? They go crazy. Oh, we got this guy, we got that guy, we got this guy. And then they forget about it because whatever else is going on. Then you go to training camp, and then you're just straight rooting for your team. And then about the New Year's, you're like, wait a second, Sweat's got 10 sacks and this, or man, were we smart to take so-and-so? Like this year it was all of a sudden Baldinger started putting out those things on Quentin Nelson, and everybody was like, this is the greatest pick ever. So we forget about it, and then depending on how your team does or the guy in front, and I do think Sweat is going to be the guy you compare to, but I don't think it's going to be Chubb because compared to Nelson, because I think people are good no matter what with Nelson, right? I mean, that's what you hope that ends up happening in this draft for Ballard, that people are great with who they drafted, being the Colts, and forget about who they didn't draft.
Exactly. I mean, Bradley Chubb had a pretty good rookie season.
Yeah.
We don't really pay that much attention to it because of the haul Chris Ballard got. From that trade, it was Quentin Nelson, it was Braden Smith, it was Tomoko Ture, it was Jordan Wilkins, who started for you the first month of last season.
Right.
And then we'll find out here, if they keep this 34th overall pick, what that haul looks like. Look, as soon as Ballard sat out free agency, and I will say sit out in quotes because Chris would laugh at me for saying that. But in terms of the elite talent in free agency, Chris Ballard took a back seat last year. Now, look, still found some great players in Autry and Ebron, but once he committed to that meant he had to trade back in the draft. He had to start building more picks, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park this year, and he still looks at this draft as a foundational building piece. I'm not sure if fans totally agree with that. I think fans are ready to make a bit of a risky move. Ballard isn't ready to do that. He still wants as many darts at the board as possible because, like you said before, when Reggie Wayne went in the Ring of Honor last year, he looked down and saw Wayne and Marlon Jackson and Manning and Saturday and Edge. He saw a bunch of homegrown Colts, and now he wants to try and duplicate that. He's not going to have the same draft capital that, Polian had with some of those picks, but he hit on a few second-rounders last year in a big, big way, and we'll see what he does tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. KB, have a great night. I assume you're going to be talking about players tonight that are actually on the Colts, not that they passed up. That's the assumption, unless they just trade back for the last 8 picks of the draft, and there you go. All right, man, I appreciate you.
I'm always fascinated when the NBA draft rolls around and they're trading a 2025 second-round pick. It's like, what? Like, if I'm a GM, I'm like, I'm never going to see that. Might as well just keep on doing that every year.
Right. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. All right, man. Appreciate you, night. KB. Have a great weekend. That's our friend Kevin Bowen. I'm telling you, that is so big because you got Lewis, you got Andre, you got these guys ready to fill in, and that is so important. And by accumulating draft picks, that's what you're trying to keep yourself good. And obviously, obviously the master of that was Bill Polian. Bill Polian kept the Colts good, kept the Colts competitive by, well, I don't know about, I'm not going to say outsmarting. He outsmarted the guy. He just did what he did and believed in what he did. And I think you're seeing right now, with yesterday dropping back, adding picks, you're seeing right now that Chris Ballard's doing the same. All right, we come back. We're going to have some fun with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is the guy on stage tonight giving the Colts third-round pick, assuming they have one. We'll talk to Pat Mack live from Nashville when we come back.
Last year, the Colts started a rapid rebuild with the NFL draft.
With the 6th pick,
turning the boys in blue into a playoff contender.
Quentin Nelson.
Now it's time to find more pieces to our Super Bowl puzzle. The Fan continues live coverage of the 2019 NFL Draft tonight, beginning at 6:30. You are warned, AFC. We're coming for you. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive radio home of the Indianapolis Colts.
Wherever you turn, May is in the air. From Monument Circle to Gasoline Alley, a rush of pure adrenaline with 300,000 fans screaming over 700 horsepower engines, where 33 drivers battle wheel to wheel for racing immortality. This is the Indy 500 presented by Gainbridge, part of the NTT IndyCar Series. Ticket prices go up May 1st, so buy now and save at IMS.com. This is Indy. This is May.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. At Cordell & Cordell, we encourage our clients to participate, to recognize how essential their role in this process is. They've got to be willing to help us help them. And by working jointly in a sort of partnership, we're more likely to get the best possible outcome for our clients. And that's really the standard that our clients can fairly hold us to, is what is the best possible outcome for them. So clients who are facing divorce need to recognize that for them to succeed, they need a partnership between them and their attorney.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122. Or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Hi, I'm Lana Clausen, a farmer in Setanta, Kansas. The agriculture industry has come a long way. Advancements in science and technology have transformed the sector, creating new job opportunities and a demand for highly skilled workers. I am proud to support the next generation of ag leaders through the America's Farmers Grow Ag Leaders program sponsored by the Monsanto Fund. Each year, farmers can help local students by endorsing them for a $1,500 Grow Ag Leaders scholarship. The scholarship allows students to pursue their dreams of studying an agriculture-related field. Each year, the program provides more than $500,000 to students enrolling in trade schools and at 2- and 4-year colleges and universities. A variety of fields are eligible, including farming, education, agronomy, engineering, mathematics, data science, communications, and many more. I encourage high school seniors and college students to apply today by visiting growagleaders.com. FFA membership is not required.
Hey, spring is coming. Everyone is ready for a break from the cold and the snow. But with spring comes warmer temps, and Larry Howald and his team at Howald Heating and Air are ready. They're ready so you can safely flip the switch on your AC system and know, guess what? Heat is coming. That's right. That's right. It's time to start thinking about getting your AC tuned up. I get my AC tuned up in the spring, and I get it in the fall because I swear I do not want to flip that switch when it's 1,000 outside, and guess what? No AC, I don't. And if you do it right now, you save money. Do it right now between now and April 30th, and you're going to save $79. You're going to only pay $79 because coming home never felt so good, or at least according to Larry. Go to HowaldHeatingandAir.com. These are great people. Or call them at 317-255-4328. That's 317-255-4328.
Welcome to Sherwin-Williams.
Hi there. I heard paints are 30% off.
Yep, and stains too.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Only at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
Right now?
Well, April 25th through 29th.
Ah, bring it in. I'm a big hugger.
It's cool. Ask Sherwin-Williams April 25th through 29th and save 30% on paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.94. Only at your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's hard to keep track of all the health information that comes your way, but you still want to make the right decisions. Here's an easy one. Get tested for hepatitis C. It's a leading cause of liver cancer and often has no symptoms. People born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. The good news is that now it can be cured. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
FAST is a gig speed network that gets business done. Beyond FAST is technology that makes business boom. Comcast Business. Beyond FAST. Visit ComcastBusiness.com.
Tune into the ride with JMV this week for your chance to win Jason Aldean tickets. Jason will be here August 23rd at the Ruoff Home Mortgage Center. Details now, 1070thefan.com.
The Jeff and Big Joe Show.
Victor Oladipo, welcome into the Fan. Everybody's been asking me, you feeling good? Everything's good?
Doing well, taking it one day at a time. Doing everything I can to get my leg back to where it needs to be.
What does this team need to do to win this series?
And keep playing at a high level.
What's the hardest thing about guarding Kyrie?
He just knows how to win. It's not really one person that needs to stop him. It's the whole team. It's going to be a whole team effort.
The Jeff and Big Joe Show. 10 till noon weekdays on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Dan Dakich. Weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
The legend of Pat McAfee just continues to grow. It started on the field, and now it moves off the field to places he never dreamed. One of those places tonight, the stage, man. 200,000 of your best friends. You're picking the third-round pick of the Colts, assuming they have one, and Ballard doesn't trade away. Pat Mac, how did this come about? How did you end up being there? How did you end up being the picker guy?
I honestly have no idea. I have no clue how it happened. Obviously, the world is in excited anticipation to see what happens, whether Chris Ballard decides to trade out of there or not. I think I threatened Chris Ballard's life earlier this week on my podcast about him trading out of the third round. I don't think he'll do it, but I'm just excited to be here. We just landed in Nashville like 20 minutes, and it is electric down here. Everybody's feeling the NFL, and last night was awesome. I can't wait to be a part of it tonight.
All right, you got to clear something up. I hope you don't mind. I saw something. Did you quit the WWE over the guy yelling and screaming and going nuts? And what are you going to wear tonight?
Well, see, I mean, I almost did. There was quite a situation that happened 40 minutes before WrestleMania kicked off. I don't enjoy if I feel like somebody's talking down to me like I'm a child. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? I have one of my employees is calling me like on 10 times right now. I'm sorry. I've been having to bat out of this thing here, but I was getting yelled at like I was a kid like 40 minutes before the whole thing kicked off, and I basically told him like, hey, I don't like that type of stuff. You know, I don't enjoy that type of stuff. And we came to a nice little powwow. We hugged each other out, and we kept it moving. But, yeah, there was almost quite a situation there before the grandest stage of them all. And tonight, I'll look professional. I was told I had to look professional. I'm about to walk into the commissioner's forum. I guess that's a pretty big deal. I was told to look business cash. So I put a sport coat on and a T-shirt. You know how we do here, Dad.
What is the Legends Commissioner Forum? Don't downplay the Legends part of it, my man.
Well, I showed up in this email chain. I don't know who all was a part of it, but all it does is say, attention NFL legend. And I don't know how hard it is to get into that email chain, but I was a part of it. So here I am about to walk into a Legends Commissioners Forum. I'm just assuming that there's going to be a lot more tough and intelligent people around me, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the damn show.
Hey, Pat, how does this work tonight? Do you get it when everybody else gets it, right? And then you walk out there and announce it? Are you able to say a few words? What's the agenda for you tonight?
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure here, you know, because this is an introduction of a kid and his dreams coming true and going to Indianapolis. I think I'm handed a card, so I will know, I guess, 20, 30 seconds before everybody else. I go out there, and all I'm going to do, Dan, you know me. Very predictable. I'm just going to announce the pick and walk off. That's all, Dan. I'm just going to announce the pick, say nothing else, and just walk off. That's all. Nothing to see here. Just whoever it is, pick 89, da-da-da, da-da-da, and nothing else will be said at all. Nothing at all. They won't. Everybody's expecting me just to say a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to say anything, Dan. I'm just going to walk up there, make the pick, and walk off like a gentleman, like a complete gentleman.
I hope that the name that you have to announce is so hard to announce. I hope it's like, you know what I mean?
I've been sweating that. I mean, I've been watching. I've gone back to numerous of those ESPN spelling bees to see how they pronounce those words. I've been studying film. I'm assuming the name is going to be asinine, and I'm going to butcher it. And that kid's dream is forever going to be tainted by me ruining his name. And Chris Ballard told me with a straight face that even if he does decide to trade the pick, he's not going to wait until I get all. He's going to wait until I get all the way up onto the stage to trade it. So I think this is quite a big game for Chris Ballard backstage. I think the Colts are going to enjoy it, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 45-syllable name coming out there in the third round.
There's a guy I'm looking right now, Oshani, Ximea. I don't even know. Oh, please, Ballard, I know you listen to this show every minute of every day. Put McAfee in a hole. Put my boy. Put him in.
Could you imagine?
All right.
Dan, could you imagine if I walk up there with the 89th pick of the 2019 NFL Draft, the Colts select. You get it. Just put the name up on the screen, damn it. Get me out of here.
Right. Oh, hell, I don't know. God, how the hell can you pronounce this name? Don't make fun of me, people. You get up here and do it. It's impossible. Because you don't
full freak out up there.
Hey, do you the last thing, and I'll let you go. I know you're busy, but what is the agenda? Do you just you get there at a certain time? Is there we always see the players, sitting in the walled off area that get picked and the hat goes on and all that. Where are you?
So today I got a bunch of things with the NFL because I guess, Dan, don't tell anybody, but my name is back in the running for Monday Night Football. So
really?
So I have to win over a bunch of people today. I got to go shake some hands at the NFL, kiss some babies, do some podcasts, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. And then I have no idea. The day is completely full. It should be an exciting one. And then the path to the draft selection tonight is kind of the cherry on top of this whole thing.
You going to see our boy Lee Fitting?
I don't know if he's here, but the NFL, they have a pretty large, I guess they're a pretty large part of the process in picking who gets to cover the game, and that's kind of the big part of the day. It's a lot of glad handing, a lot of handshaking, and making sure these people know that I'm a professional. I am a full-blown professional. I put on a sport coat today. I don't play any damn games.
What's the T-shirt going to say under it?
Yeah, I run a merch company.
I know.
A lot of potential opportunities here to make a lot of money, but I am not going to do that. Obviously, I'm going to be a professional here and treat the Colts and the NFL how it should be, which is the utmost respect, my brother.
I got you. Hey, man, I know you're smart. I appreciate you taking a few minutes. Thanks, my friend. Hey, knock them dead.
Hey, thanks for having me on, and I apologize for the 45 phone calls I was receiving at the exact same time this interview started. Anytime I can get on the horn with you, though, is a good day. I appreciate you, Double D.
You're the best. Thanks, Pat. That's our friend. You heard it. I'm telling you, Pat McAfee, you heard him say it. He said it on the air. He said, don't be surprised. I believe the legs of Pat McAfee for Monday Night Football, I believe it has legs. I'm telling you. It does. It does. There was an article the other day in Deadspin. It does. Pat and I were driving. We were together. I took him out. Well, I didn't take him, but we were on the same flight, headed out to Bristol. He was going to go interview with all the guys, and you know what? Pat was meeting with all of them, and Monday Night Football. Telling you, it's got legs. It does. Good legs, not great legs. Good legs. It should. Man, I'm watching last night. I am apparently. Is it crazy at downtown Indy? I just read a Trump tweet. Great NRA crowd enthusiasm in Indiana leaving now for meetings in the Oval Office. Is that must be crazy downtown Indy?
There was quite a few streets shut down.
Is it?
But yeah, I saw quite a few. I don't know what you call them, the caravan cars driving around here.
I'll tell you this, when you're in D.C., it is kind of exciting. It's kind of electric when the entire caravan or whatever you call it pulls up with all the lights going and the siren. It's actually very, very cool. Listen to this. There's a guy named Sean O'Hara who is a 3-time Pro Bowler. He is Super Bowl champ, played for the Giants. Listen to this. He says if you put Eli Manning and Peyton Manning in a blender, you get Daniel Jones. I'm telling you, man, people just come up with stuff. Now, is that currently Eli Manning? Currently Peyton Manning out of football for a few years? I'm telling you, people come up with stuff. Like this drama queen, this Rashawn Gary, man. I'm anxious to see all these drama guys, man. These drama guys are interesting to me. You know, this Rashawn Gary was a player of the year, and he didn't do jack at Michigan, and got all the facial expressions. I mean, I just like guys that want to ball. Like, I love that Hollywood Brown kid, man. That Hollywood Brown kid was great. I love that kid. That kid, to me, now that was my favorite kid drafted. I'm a Kyler Murray fan. Now, I wasn't a Kyler Murray fan on the Dan Patrick show where he kind of just sat there. I really liked Dwayne Haskins as well, and I liked the 3 big guys from Clemson. I thought they were fun dudes. The Bradbury kid last night from North Carolina State, I'm sure he's a great kid, but damn, did I get tired of hearing all these guys talk about what a great baseball player he was. No, he wasn't, or he'd have been drafted. You know, now they just draft you. In my day, they asked me, hey, if we draft you, will you sign? I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. So, I don't know. I hope the Colts do exactly what the Colts are set to do. Find 2-3 guys today that fit their culture, that fit everything that the Colts want, including on-the-field performance. What do you got for me, Chris?
Hey, just wanted to touch base on the state of the downtown area right now.
Yeah.
I live downtown, work downtown at the convention center, and I'll say I came in this morning thinking it was going to be, really crazy, really, really crazy. Now, I will say the traffic is pretty bad, as you can imagine, but as far as the people downtown, we've got conventions that are, this big and bigger and crazier, and honestly, not too bad. You got some protesters and things with a polarizing type figure and stuff, but outside of that, it's, business as usual downtown at the convention center.
Appreciate the traffic on the 10s here. It's 140, man. It's traffic on the 10s. There you go. Oh, that's good. Got to have some protesters because, you got to. You got to, man. Donald Trump says anything, you got to protest it. My man just went through 2 federal investigations. This is the most legitimate presidency ever. I was just reading this article. 2 federal investigations. So, whatever. I don't even care. You guys have exhausted me. But, oh, man. How about this? This is a great picture. So a guy gets caught or cheating on his wife. He comes home, and there's a big sign out front. Welcome home, cheater, sprayed in a freaking bedsheet. Ouch. This is pretty funny. A guy named Danny Heifetz, obviously a Jewish guy, says about Josh Rosen. Pretty funny, actually. Everyone has given up on Josh Rosen, but for us Jews, wandering the desert is where the story starts, not where it ends. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Oh, that is really, really funny. All right, we'll come back. 317-239-1070. Are you guys okay with the Colts moving back? And if so, who you want? I'll go through the names when we come back. Who's left?
The Ride with JMV.
All right, Colts draft. Chris Ballard has said in the past that you can't have enough offensive linemen and defensive linemen. However, I've been told that they really like the defensive linemen they have on the team right now. Does that mean at the end of round number 1, where D linemen are plentiful, they go that direction? Is it safety, maybe wide receiver? All a part of the intrigue coming up for the Colts draft.
The Ride with JMV. Weekdays from 3 till 6 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Which one? Dan Doggett here for Family Leisure. I was sitting there reading about a kid named Seventh Woods who's leaving North Carolina. Nobody ever leaves North Carolina. But let's talk about my friends at Family Leisure. Look, let's be honest. Sometimes you just got to buy something for you. That's right, for you. And Family Leisure has what you want for your outdoors. It's the Great Outdoors Sale. 24-foot pools, only $19.99 installed. Relax with the new patio set, whatever your style or budget. They've got it. Relieve the aches and pains in a 4-person spa starting at $19.99. Tell them I sent you. And get a free gift with a purchase. If you buy a patio set, you get a free umbrella. Buy a grill, get free accessories. You get to drill. The Great Outdoor Sales is on at Family Leisure. Go to familyleisure.com. Or better yet, stop in the store. Tell them Dan sent you. Go to Penland Pike and Oak Landing Road.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, are giving much-needed support to injured warriors and veterans hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It's time to expect more at Dreyer & Reinbold, where you get more than just a car. You get peace of mind from a pre-owned dealer you can trust. No used car dealer follows the rigorous process we use to select, inspect, and recondition our cars, trucks, and SUVs. Experience the Dreyer & Reinbold difference with access to the best quality pre-owned vehicles on the market. Located at 96th and Keystone, US 31 South in Greenwood, and at DryerReinbold.com.
Indians, Astros, Sunday Night Baseball. The coverage begins at 6 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Dan Dakich, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Man, there have been a lot of great father-son combinations in all sports. Sports Illustrated has an article about them. It's really kind of interesting. I mean, I didn't realize, man, a lot of great ones. I mean, great ones. Holy cow, I'd have to put the Dakiches in there with them, I think, anyway. I don't know. 317-239-1070. Callers to this point have not been our strong suit, but that's all right. We're not mad at them. You got DK Metcalf, who was the freak. The Colts aren't going to be involved in Drew Lock, but, you never know. Some of these mock drafts have the Colts at 34, taking the kid who is DK Metcalf's teammate and more productive teammate in A.J. Brown. Now, I don't know. That would leave Greedy Williams, a kid that, by all accounts, has everything you want except for tackling ability, apparently, as a corner. Tackling ability as a corner, I guess it's important, I suppose. But you've got a lot of guys here. Paris Campbell is somebody that is interesting for all of us. And then as you go through different mock drafts, Jalen Ferguson is a kid that's interesting. He is he set records at Louisiana Tech. He's a pass rusher. He's 6'5", 260, which I'm guessing puts him on the small side. And there you go. But, and who knows if this is accurate? Who knows? But this DK Metcalf is the guy that blew up the combine. And when you look at some of these draft, some of these things, man, he keeps falling. Then with the 59th pick, a corner out of Minnesota named Justin Lane, Layne, is an interesting pick. Who knows who's going to be available? Who knows? But these are just some guys with some picks. I don't know. But it feels like in this draft, at least when you look around this draft and you look at the second-round projections, the number one position is corner. Rock Ya-Sin from Temple, Dalton Reisner, Joejuan Williams, kid out of Vanderbilt, Isaiah Johnson out of Houston, DK Metcalf, he's not a corner, Julian Love out of Notre Dame. You know who I'm interested in? And I'm sure he is not a draft choice. I'm sure he must not be nearly as good as I think he is. But that Michael Boykin, the wide receiver out of Notre Dame, Danny D. Likey Lottie, wide receiver out of Notre Dame, Boykin. I mean, a lottie. A whole lot. So I think Michael Boykin's terrific. Like, I don't know. I preface everything with I don't know anything about it. What I do know is Michael Boykin, when I watched him play, all right, all I saw was a guy that played really hard and played, I don't know, played like a guy that had more ability than anybody. And maybe I'm saying, is this the wrong guy? Notre Dame football, Michael Boykin. I love the guy. No? Am I screwing this up? Do I like a guy that doesn't exist? Is his name not Boykin? Is he not a wide receiver? I'm not gonna be happy if I've screwed this up. There it is, Notre Dame. Wide receiver. Miles. I screwed it up. Miles Boykin. Man, I am a monster fan of Miles Boykin. Why isn't Miles Boykin getting any more love? He's 6'4". He's 230 pounds. He's smart. He's tough. You guys are killing me. To me, if the Colts got Miles Boykin, that'd be awesome. Miles Boykin, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. But somebody's going to draft Miles Boykin to get a hell of a player. That's all I know. That is something that I'm betting. I'm telling you right now. Ooh, you know who Nick Bosa's great-grandfather was? Tony Accardo. If you don't know who Tony Accardo was, man, he's a badass mafia guy. Took over as a mob boss from Al Capone in 1943. He lived in a 22-room mansion in Illinois with 2 bowling alleys and a pool in the basement. He bathed in a tub carved out of black onyx stone. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Duluth Trading Company. Hey, Dan Dockage and 1070 The Fan, thanks for the underwear overshare. Looking forward to hearing more news about your nether reasons soon. You damn right. All right, it's Miles Boykin. Why doesn't anybody like Miles Boykin? Man, I love that dude. Every time I watch Miles Boykin play, he's a badass. Stop it. I won't read that. That doesn't seem nice. Hey, Dan, I know he's had off-field issues, but I can see the Colts draft A.J. Brown. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't want anybody with off-field issues unless they're, not big. And I always like big athletic guys or real fast guys. No, reverse that order. I want athletic, quick, fast guys, and then if they're big, that's good too. As the great Urban Meyer told me, one of the first days we ever sat down, about the third day he was in town, we were in my backyard, and he's like, man, I've told this story many times. He's like, hey, Dan, I'm going to the track meet, and I'm going to offer scholarships, if they don't already have them, to every guy that finishes in the top 5 in the 200, the 100, and all the relays. They're all getting football scholarships. You got to have speed. You do. You do. Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. I just got a text from him. Jeez. What a week, Kyle. This morning, we talked to McAfee. Rick Smits texted me about his son. Donnie Baseball is texting me. Jeez. Man, what a day. Anyway, 317-239-1070. We got the last hour of the week. Who do you think the Colts are going to draft? I'm going to give you my final pick at some point in this hour. Also, don't forget Rod, race of the day.
Last year, the Colts started a rapid rebuild with the NFL draft.
With the 6th pick,
turning the boys in blue into a playoff contender.
Quentin Nelson.
Now it's time to find more pieces to our Super Bowl puzzle. The Fan continues live coverage of the 2019 NFL Draft tonight, beginning at 6:30. You are warned, AFC. We're coming for you. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive radio home of the Indianapolis Colts.
Rascal Flatts Summer Playlist Tour. Saturday, September 14th, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. I like the sound of that. Country music's greatest vocal group, Rascal Flatts, with special guests. But if he ever sables Jordan Davis and Morgan Evans. Reserve seat tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Marie, is that you?
Oh, hi, Barb. How you doing?
Better now. Did you know we had a little health scare with Jeff?
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, he had been short of breath and was really tired a lot of the time. He just thought he was getting old and was out of shape, but it turns out it was heart valve disease.
How did you figure it out?
He finally went to the doctor, and she was able to listen to his heart and detected the problem. I didn't realize it, but heart valve disease is more common than you'd think. They were able to replace the valve, and he's feeling so much better now.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
More than 5 million Americans are diagnosed with heart valve disease every year, but most people know nothing about the condition, and it can be deadly if untreated. That's why it's important to listen to your heart and ask your doctor if your symptoms may be due to heart valve disease or if you're at high risk. A message brought to you by Heart Valve Voice US. For more information about the symptoms and treatments for valve disease, go to heartvalvevoice-us.org.
Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is spring cleaning. We have Ram 1500s up to $15,000 off MSRP. Lease a Pacifica starting at $389 per month or a Jeep starting at $299 a month. We have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles priced under book value. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Brownsburg.
Not all will have the credit to qualify. Price excludes tax, title, license, government fees, and documentary fee. All advertised vehicles are subject to actual dealer availability. Please check with your dealer for more information. Some vehicles offered for sale may be subject to unrepaired manufacturer safety recalls.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
The Ride with JMV.
All right, Colts draft. Chris Ballard has said in the past that you can't have enough offensive linemen and defensive linemen. However, I've been told that they really like the defensive linemen they have on the team right now. Does that mean at the end of round number 1, where D linemen are plentiful, they go that direction? Is it safety, maybe wide receiver? All a part of the intrigue coming up for the Colts draft.
The Ride with JMV. Weekdays from 3 till 6 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. We'd like to thank the Pacers for another season of NBA playoffs and a full season of thrills. The best is yet to come on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers. Dan Dakich, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
We brought the fun. Tonight it's on like Donkey Kong. The draft should be good, man. Right. Barry Welsh, why wasn't Ole Miss better with the talent they had? Ole Miss, I'm talking about Mississippi State. Jeez. Dan, the Colts need Evander Holyfield's kid at running back. Please tell me why, other than the fact that he's Evander Holyfield. Man, I'm with you on this, Rodney. Rodney says, in my opinion, which means nothing because I don't know anything. Me neither, Rodney. I've just got a radio show. I wouldn't spend the first pick on A.J. Brown. Instead, I'd use a later pick on Paris Campbell. More speed, similar hands, although the size is drastically different. Obviously, T.Y. Hilton does just fine at that size. I don't necessarily want a small wide receiver, but I do like Paris Campbell. Now, again, I'm with you. I don't know why. I don't know if Paris Campbell is even on the Colts board. I don't. I have no idea. Zero if he is on the Colts board. I who knows? But I know this. Character, check. Playmaking ability, check. I don't know about all the value. All that value stuff is the way for these TV nerds to have something to say because they could throw a mic in front of them. That's it. Sean, what's going on?
How you doing today, Double D?
Good.
Hey, so I was listening to your interview with Pat Mack, and I thought it was kind of funny that, you're giving him a hard time about being professional or not. And, he's the type of person that I could see him wearing underneath his sports coat, his mugshot T-shirt.
Right.
Exposing it to everybody.
Right. All right, you know what text I got from him, right? Did you hear the whole interview?
Yeah.
So he said he's just, he's going to be a professional. He's going to announce the pick, right?
Right.
He said, there is zero chance I just announced the pick tonight, by the way, but you know that. You damn right. You think he's getting up there and saying with the fifth pick of the draft, the Colts select Jimmy Brown, blah, blah. No freaking chance. You know that. I know that.
He's too funny. He's too funny.
Right.
He's just a clowner, and, I kind of agree with you. I hope that the Colts just pick the worst possible name so he can get up there and just fumble
right.
and just watch him act goofy about it.
Right. That's what I want to see. I mean, I want to see them pick like one of these names that you can't
like
can't
that one
even
you were trying to talk about that you couldn't pronounce.
No, hell no. I just happened to look up, and I got the NFL Draft Kickoff show on up here in the hotel room on the NFL Network, and I'm sitting there going, man. If they gave McAfee this kid's name, he's from Old Dominion. If they gave him this kid's name 2 minutes before he had to go up and announce it, there is no way in holy hell he is able to do it. I'm telling you, there's no freaking way. Appreciate the phone call. Thank you. No way. No chance. Kyler Murray, if you don't know, now you know. He goes number one. There's an article up, and I think this guy does a really good job. Andrew Walker on Colts.com. The headline is Colts not ruling out trading back again in the second round. And what I like about Andrew Walker is he works for the Colts, but he's a former athlete, so he kind of understands it. He said the Colts went on the clock last night around 11 o'clock Eastern time. Ballard got on the phone with Washington team president Bruce Allen and worked out a deal. Now, according to Andrew, and you got to say this, I think, both sides got what they wanted. The Redskins got the 26th pick and selected Montez Sweat, while the Colts got 2 second-round picks, the 46th overall this year, which is 20 different, which is, that – a lot of us would say, man, that's a risk, and the second-round pick of Washington next year, so we need Washington to stink. And as you all know, the Colts have now 3 second-round picks, including the second one, which is the 34th pick. So here's what Ballard said last night. He said that 34th pick is going to be very attractive to people, he said with a wink as he ended his Thursday night session with reporters. Now, the reason the Colts would draft, even consider trading back, is because everybody has said it. There are a lot of good players. There are a lot of good corners. There are a lot of good wide receivers. You are 100% confident, I think, if you're Chris Ballard, that you're going to get somebody that you like, even if you don't draft till the end of the second round. Here's what I don't understand, all right? I'm on the Colts website last night, and they give you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look into the Colts war room. Everybody's in a suit and tie. Now, why in the hell is everybody in a suit and tie? I don't know the answer to that. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say to look professional. But who are you looking professional to? The other thing that I see in this war room, and this is so funny because this is what, is phones with cords on them. When's the last time you spoke on a phone or a landline phone? Can you even remember the last time you spoke on a landline phone? To some of you that are 18 to 22, have you ever spoken on a phone that is a landline phone, meaning one that is attached to the wall, meaning one that is either the revolutionary hands-free phone that you could walk around your house and talk on the phone with, or that you had a long cord attached to the phone and to the mic or the hands-free thing, the hand thing, and, the longer the cord, the more movement you could have. I think it's really funny. But when you look at that, that is the Colts. Look at my girls. Anyway, but I think it's fascinating. There are certain things that fascinate me in this entire deal. Everybody's in a suit and tie, man. Football coaches are a little like preachers. They know if we're going to BS you, we're going to be dressed nice. And that's a fact, Jack. Like, we're going to dress nice when we stand up there. And I ain't mad about it. Marcus, what you got?
I couldn't help but notice, not only did Chris Ballard look great, beautiful tie, great-looking shoes, all that, man wasn't wearing socks.
Is that right?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't see the socks. I don't know. I don't think anything less of them. I just, couldn't help but notice it.
I'm going to text him. You wearing socks tonight? I'm gonna hit. I'll know by Monday. I'll let you know Monday.
Thank you very much. Those are.
You got it. This is. Hey, we must. Hey, we must uncover the important things here, pal.
I'm with you, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, this show, we're not just a bunch of pretty faces with great voices around here. We're going to get to the bottom of the smart stuff. Hondo died last night, and I'm not happy about it. John Havlicek was not a good player. John Havlicek was a great player. In fact, John Havlicek is one of the all-time greatest players and classiest individuals ever to play the sport of basketball. Was a national champion at Ohio State with Jerry Lucas, Siegfried. Coach Knight was on that team, and obviously with the Celtics, won championships there as well. But even more than that, he just always comported himself just fantastic. And for those of you that don't know, he actually played with the Cleveland Browns. He was part of the Browns organization. When he was holding out, he had to make a decision. He was drafted in football. He was drafted in basketball, and he had to make a decision. And he made a decision to, quite frankly, he made a decision to go with the Browns, and then realized, wait a second, this ain't smart. I'll go the other way. Last night or yesterday, I asked, what is the Colts' hole in terms of personnel? It's a Twitter poll sponsored by Howald HVAC, and I don't understand why more of you businesses, I'm giving it away basically to a couple businesses. I had 17 million engagements in a 28-day period on Twitter. 17 million people engaged with my tweets over a month period. I don't know how you all aren't as smart as Axiom. Axiom gets more pub for basically, I don't know, $300 a month. It's unbelievable. But anyway, Howald HVAC Smart, we only had about, 1,000 voters, which is very small for us. Biggest one in the station, obviously. 18,000 people saw the poll. 37% of you said the D-line is the biggest hole. The secondary got 30%, wide receiver got 26%, and running back got 7%. Dan, I always love this stuff. Will Hammonds, They need another strong linebacker. They'll go safety in the first round. Wrong. Dan, you heard it here first. Offensive tackle. Wrong. Wide receiver, tight end. Hilton is getting older. Injury risk. Wrong. I'm just telling you, everybody was wrong because they didn't draft in the first round. So if you had trade back, ding, 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 you are a winner. I'm not sure who tonight I would go with. I'm really not. I'm really, really not. I'm not sure which route I would go. I've kind of studied this a little bit. I've kind of studied this, and I'll be honest with you. I read too much into certain texts. Like, I went back and kind of went back over all the texts that Chris Ballard and I had, and it's really interesting. It's really consistent. Big believer in the film tells you about character. Boy, do I believe that. Man, do I believe that. And I don't know that I've studied enough the character of these guys, but I would say this. Again, guy may be a complete pain in the ass, and if he is, this isn't going to happen. But if that Juwan Taylor, he's a right tackle for he played in Florida, but he's going to be moved to left tackle. If he's available, I got to believe they're going to take him. And the reason is, if you go back and listen to our interview with Kevin Bowen, one of the things that Kevin talked about, which I think is so right, absolutely so right on, is you're trying to fill your roster with not only starters, but with guys that a year from now are going to be starters. Costanzo ain't playing forever, and you got to make sure you got somebody ready to go there. The other guy that I could see is Greedy Williams. Greedy Williams is a corner. Greedy Williams is a corner out of LSU. Greedy Williams apparently has every single thing that you want. The only problem you have with Greedy Williams, not a great tackler. But do you really care about that? I mean, is that really an important thing when you look at, man, I want to improve my position? I don't know the answer. I'm literally asking you this. You know, I don't know. It may be. It may not be. You know, here's one that I saw last night that I thought was really interesting. Kid named Byron Murphy. He's out of Washington. He only ran a 4.55, and that would eliminate him for me. But one of the things that I liked about him, which is very interesting, is this. Listen to this on a cornerback, not quarterback, corner. Impressive change of direction and mirroring techniques. And this one shows good anticipation on route progressions. Also effective when coming off one route to attack another. We've seen that before, right? A guy reads it, next thing you know, quarterback throws mostly on an out route, and the deeper out route guy reads it, comes back, intercepts. Needs to do a better job of disengaging from wide receivers, blockers on running plays, but an athletic corner plays much bigger than 5'11", but here's the problem. Could fall out to day 2. He was projected as a first-round pick because of size and 4.55 40 time. Now, size isn't an issue with Quincy Wilson. Speed is an issue with Quincy Wilson. But, man, when you start talking about mirroring techniques, I ain't mad about it. I'm really not. That's what I kind of like. Chris, what do you got?
Hey, what's going on, Dan?
Nothing, buddy.
Hey, I was just looking at a couple players. Kind of looked at it. My dad coached football at Pike High School for 30 years, and sometimes it ain't the size of the dog; it's the size of fighting the dog. And there's a kid from Notre Dame called Drew Tranquill. plays linebacker, 6'1", 235 or something. Just maybe under the radar guy, but big fan of his and big fan of your show, Dan.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of Drew Tranquill. I have no idea. That kid's a badass. Appreciate the phone call. That kid is a legit badass. I don't know. I say this all the time. I don't know whether his game equates to the NFL, just like so many times I have no idea, zero idea of some of these guys that end up playing in the NBA and don't end up playing in the NBA. I don't know, but, man, every time I watch Notre Dame football, I saw Drew Tranquill make plays. I saw Drew Tranquill throw his body around. I thought Drew Tranquill lead, big lead. And we'll see. Hopefully for himself, he gets drafted. I thought he was going to go to Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's a good football player. Calls him a special team ace who demonstrated route running polish, twitchiness, and impressive speed as a receiver at the Senior Bowl. He's a kid from here in Indy. I like him. I liked him a lot at Ohio State, and obviously I watched a lot of Ohio State, but I don't know nothing. I want to make sure I say that like I don't know nothing. Hey, by the way, we just tweeted out our race of the day. Go to my Twitter page, @DanDockage or @KyleUIT. Retweet it for your chance to win a horse and win $100 in gift cards. Prizes, not gift cards, betting and dinner vouchers. It's just one of those deals where now in the second round, everybody got a little problem. What do you got, Matt?
Hey, Dan. I'd like to talk about that cornerback that you were talking about, Greedy, I think was his name.
Grady Williams,
Somebody like Kenny Moore last year was super important to the Colts. Obviously, he may have stepped up and played above his averages or whatever, but, I mean, he had 91 solo tackles, I think 110 combined, and, there was a lot of those that were key tackles. So a cornerback coming into play, getting up in there and hitting somebody, I think that's really important. I mean, he may have all the talent, but, we need somebody that can hit, and maybe we can get a linebacker.
Do you know who the worst hitting guy in football corner was? Deion Sanders. Like, he would not. And he may be the best corner in the history of football. I just don't know, man. I know you want a full package. I know you want a guy that does everything. But, damn, if you're gonna tell me this guy is a shutdown kind of guy, I am
Yeah, I'd take that too.
Man, I'm in on that. I really, because of the way the NFL is going now. I mean, let's be honest. Guys are throwing it. Now you better have some change of direction, speed. And you may have to tackle, but you may have to tackle the quarterback. Because quarterbacks like, Kyler Murray, they're not going away. They're going to be here. Appreciate the phone call. Hey, Dan, why did everyone from Greene County call you today? I don't know, Devin. Hey, Dan, how about you draft Taylor and move Braden Smith back to his guard position? That's a beast of a line. You got Glowinski there as well. Yeah. Talking about the suits, Robbie Loretta, obviously just speculation. Maybe the suits are a confident thing. I know I feel good when I get dressed up in a really nice suit, whatever it takes to get the right mindset, I guess. No, you're right. That's why once in a while I don't work out before the show and I try to wear a decent shirt in here. It just makes you feel better, like my dad said to me. They get yourself a nice sweater and lose weight. Oh, man. It's funny. Apparently, my man Trump pointed to the crowd and called everybody fake news. Well, he ain't lying there. Lies a lot, but he ain't lying there. Dan, I love Miles Boykin. Love Miles Boykin. That kid has hops. Stick him on his hands. He'd be a late steal. Why is he a late steal, Samuel? I don't understand that. I'm with you. Must not be fast enough. All I know is when I see Miles Boykin, I say to myself, damn, man, I ain't mad about that kid. I'd like to coach that kid. I'd like to be around when that kid is on my team. Like, I don't know about – a couple people have asked me about Chase Winovich. I don't know. I don't say that to be a jackass. I say that because I legitimately don't know. Everybody tells me he's effective. You know, people tell me he can do this, that, or the other. Miles Boykin is rated as the 119th player. Here's what they say about him. Boykin is an interesting sleeper. He didn't have eye-popping production, yet has a complete skill set and impressive hands, decent athleticism, and surprising downfield speed. What? A strong showing at the combine likely caused him to fly up boards at over 6'2" and heavier than 215 pounds. Well, where the hell was he if he's the 119th? So he's flying up boards at 119th, which I guess makes sense. The other kid I liked when I saw him play football is this kid, Benny Snell. Benny Snell from Kentucky was a good football player. They say that he's too big, too tall, and they don't like his speed. Man, is this a bad recommendation? Boy, am I wrong about Benny Snell. Listen to this for a running back. Ready? Despite being a big runner, Snell has outstanding jump cut ability and is very patient behind his blockers. See, that's what I always love about Le'Veon Bell. I love that about Le'Veon Bell. But listen to this. He's decently powerful, too. Now, listen to the bad part. He just lacks in the speed department, and his vision fails him at times. Well, if you're not fast and you got bad vision as a running back, let me say a few words about it. That ain't good. But, man, when I watched Benny Snell play football, I thought he was pretty good. I love guys that get behind their blockers. I've said that, and you guys made fun of me, or at least they did on Twitter. About 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I said that Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in the league. And everybody said, oh, you're crazy, Adrian Peterson. I'm like, nope. Nobody, and I mean nobody in the NFL, nobody follows his blocking better than Le'Veon Bell. Nobody in the NFL does. And then he bursts, and then all of a sudden a 2-yard gain because he went at the right time becomes an 8 to 10 yard. I'm telling you. And I don't know if that's Benny Snell or not, but I tell you what, that's what I saw when I watched him. It's exactly what I saw when I watched him. And I would not be mad at the Colts getting him late. Now, every one of these guys I'm talking about may not even come close to being, a Greg Riley, then you got to retweet it if you'd love a horse. I want to give you a horse, but you got to retweet it. It's part of the rules. Hey, Dan, you wear a suit so when you pick up the Tony Hugos, it appears you're trying hard. Hey, look, I'm trying really hard. I got my suit on today. Look, you're so damn important to me. I'm wearing a suit. It's actually, you do that in recruiting. That's pretty funny. Pat McAfee was great. Didn't keep him long because he's a busy man. He's giving out the 3rd-round pick tonight. He was fantastic. Our friend Kevin Bowen as well. Mostly it's been me and you talking a little smack. All right, Kyler Murray, the first pick. Team hasn't received any type of meaningful offer for Josh Rosen. Let me tell you something. If you're Josh Rosen, you ain't in such a bad spot. Kyler Murray's 5 foot nothing, no pounds. You're going to get hurt running around. The NFL's a mother with that stuff, man. Them dudes try to hurt you. We'll come back. Race of the day coming up at 2:45.
Congratulations to our Indiana Pacers for hanging tough in the face of adversity after losing our best player early.
Oladipo is seated.
Gold didn't quit. But this year's end is only the beginning of better things to come. Full health, the NBA draft, and free agency are the path forward. The Pacers rebuild and reload, and you can hear it all here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers.
Rascal Flatts Summer Playlist Tour. Saturday, September 14th, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center.
I like the sound of that.
country music's greatest vocal group, Rascal Flatts, with special guests. But if he ever singles you love, Jordan Davis and Morgan Evans. Reserve seat tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
One of the great things in life is intimacy. It's a key part of how we express ourselves and share with the person we love. Physical, emotional, and spiritual intimacy. As much as we want to share that intimacy, there are times it just doesn't seem to work out. 40% of the time in men over 40, it just doesn't work. Many couples go months and sometimes years without addressing erectile dysfunction or other sexual issues in what can easily be resolved with just one visit to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Our Indiana licensed providers use FDA-approved medications to get intimacy back into your relationship in just one visit. There is no need to wait any longer. We are here for you, both of you. Call 999-9000 to set up a private consultation. 999-9000. The clinic visit, evaluation, and testing of the medication is just $99. IndyMen'sClinic.com for more information. 999-9000.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on homeowners insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you have a cute little reading nook for those rainy days when you want to curl up with a good book, but you don't even read, so you just sit in there during thunderstorms and scroll through memes on your phone and laugh in the darkness. The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the dark, meme-filled corner you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
A natural noise sleep machine. Because nothing says sleep like noise. Next birthday, just send me gift money with Zelle. Now that'll help me sleep better. And you know how I feel about birds, Bev.
Gift better. Send money easily with Zelle. Look for Zelle in your banking app.
Must have a bank account in the U.S. to use Zelle. Zelle is an early warning services trademark.
The month of May is almost here. Check out our events tab to stay tuned with all things Indy 500 and month of May. Don't miss a moment. Online now, 1070thefan.com.
The Jeff and Big Joe Show.
Victor Oladipo, welcome into the Fan. Everybody's been asking me, you feeling good? Everything's good?
Doing well, taking it one day at a time. Doing everything I can to get my leg back to where it needs to be.
What does this team need to do to win this series?
And keep playing at a high level.
What's the hardest thing about guarding Kyrie?
He just knows how to win. It's not really one person that needs to stop him. It's the whole team. It's going to be a whole team effort.
The Jeff and Big Joe Show. 10 till noon weekdays on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Dan Dakich. Weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Guess who just got back today? Every day around mile marker 56 on I-65, Jackson, Bartholomew County. It's closed and there's a backup. You people in southern Indiana can't guard high school kids and you can't drive. Get off the damn phone. Get out. There's nothing interesting going on in southern Indiana. There's no reason to be on the phone down there around Jackson, Bartholomew County. Jeez. Every freaking day I follow our guy Stephen Wheels at ISP Versailles, and every day at that particular spot, you clowns are wrecking. Quit wrecking. Jeez. Pay attention. Get off your damn cell phones. Quit chewing tobacco. I got some lecturing to do, damn it. Oh, man, I'm going to Harvard Yard. Now, you know what I'm going to do after this show? I'm going to go get me some smarts. I am. I'm going to go get me some smarts. I'm going to go to Harvard. I'm going to sit with Tegan and one of her friends and Lee, and I'm going to have me a beer in the middle of Harvard Yard, and I might just act a fool. Where did Dockage get arrested? He got arrested in Harvard Yard. Why was he in Harvard Yard? Because he's smart. Damn. I guarantee you, I'll bet you anything you want. Somebody tell me this. Protesters, I guarantee you, because the Star put it out there, I promise you there's like 5 people protesting. 317-239-1070. Oh, what a great day. What a great, great day. I'm not saying the weather's great, but you got something to look forward to tonight. Hey, Dan, the pursuit of meth in Seymour has caused many a wreck. Jeff A.A. You know what that is? Jeff A.A., you're a countyist. You're a cityist. That's what you are. You're not insidious. I am a known voicist. I'm not messing around either. I am a known voicist. I can hear your voice and tell you whether you're friend or foe, jackass or good guy. I can do it very quickly. But at the end of the day, you're a countyist. Jeff A.A. Cityist. I'm a countyist. I am a staunch non-supporter of Greene County because the guy after me makes fun of us. My part, and I make fun of you guys, and I watch you guys melt down. I watched Greene County. And by the way, I'm speaking at Andrean's championship banquet on Monday, and I can't wait. I said something yesterday on Twitter. Everybody, when I was watching yesterday, everybody's a great basketball player. The center for North Carolina State was a great baseball player. Everybody's great at the sport they didn't play. It's like I remember when Randy Moss was at Marshall and they were talking about him playing basketball. I was so hoping he would play basketball because Marshall had an incredibly talented team. And if you remember, I mean, Randy Moss now is like, A-Rod. Everybody thinks he's great, right? But the truth of the matter is Randy Moss, complete pain in the ass. And I was really hoping that Randy Moss would join Marshall and screw him up because he wasn't nearly as good. And I'd seen film. I know he's like Mr. Basketball in West Virginia. He wasn't nearly as good as he was made out to be. But yesterday I'm looking at this center, and he's swinging, and everybody's talking, he could have been a great player in baseball, blah, blah. I'm like, no, he couldn't. I could tell a good swing. No. I tell you what, I can also tell this kid Taylor, I don't know if the Colts are going to draft him or not. He's the tackle, Jawan Taylor. I watched him make 2 moves, and that kid can play. Now, I don't know if he's going to get hurt, not get hurt. It's interesting. Best remaining players, according to Scouts Inc. on ESPN. Drew Lock is second. That's not even close to what CBS has. That's what makes this whole thing interesting. There are so many players that you possibly could take. Give me Taylor, give me Greedy Williams, and let's figure it out later. That's how I look at it. I mean, I don't need much. A corner would be nice, somebody that you can throw in there and feel good about. Another lineman. I'm telling you, you don't want to go back to the days ever, where if you didn't have Joe Wrights, you had nothing. If you remember, Joe Wrights played every position. Every position. Joe Wright saved the day. And last year you didn't have to have Joe Wright. Last year you had a bunch of guys. Last year you had, all of a sudden Braden Smith's playing over there, Glowinski, everything else. Man, that's pretty good stuff. That's really good stuff. But you don't want to go back to any of that. You don't. None of it. So there you go. So give me Greedy Williams or give me that big Taylor kid, one of the two. One of the two is going to be available. So what the hell? Did you guys see this? I mean, I'm going to change the subject a little bit. Darren Rovell is kind of an idiot. I mean, the gymnastics team at LSU came in second in the NCAA tournament. They put up a billboard basically celebrating, and this idiot says you can't do it because you came in second. Now, have you ever seen Darren Rovell run? You know he can't even walk, much less run. But, man, he's going to tell gymnastics people what they can and cannot do in terms of celebrating? Second in the country? That seems silly to me. Darren Ravel? Like that's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, you got to believe that's idiotic, right? I mean, Darren Ravel telling us what we can and cannot celebrate, and the dude cannot walk and chew gum? It's crazy. Good for those girls, man. Why wouldn't you put that up? Why wouldn't you put I mean, second in the country is pretty damn good. Anyway, my head explodes sometimes. Louis Riddick did a lot of talking last night. Louis Riddick talked too much. I got tired of Louis Riddick. I like Louis Riddick. I think he's very good. But, man, all he did was talk and talk and talk. And that's tough unless you have a 3-hour radio show. That's tough. Multiple sources say the Dolphins are close to a deal for Josh Rosen, and that deal may actually be tentatively done. See, I try to tell you guys, Josh Rosen would have been the number one pick in the draft possibly this year, and guess what? Guess what Arizona's getting for him? The 48th pick of the draft. That's it. The 48th pick of the draft. That is it. I mean, you guys think that Jacoby Brissett would get anything. Jacoby Brissett is far more valuable to the Colts being a really, really good backup. Or maybe he's not a good backup, just a backup, as opposed to trading him for like a 6th round or 7th round pick, because you're not doing any better. You're not doing any better than that for Jacoby Brissett. And that's, I mean, honest to God, that's as simple as I can make it. And when you see a guy like Josh Rosen, you trade him and he's a 48th pick, that's a hell of a deal for Miami. That's a hell of a deal. So, I don't know. But think about that. 48th pick. Last year, there was a time. Now, Josh Rosen must be a putz. There's got to be some putz to Josh Rosen. I think, anyway. To me, anyway, there's got to be. He's got to have some jag to him. He's got to have some lack of leadership skill. He's got to have something to him that's just not. That's not right. Because if he's that good, you don't come in and say we're going to take Kyler Murray. The whole idea, and I said this yesterday, that you have to reboot your franchise when you get a new general manager is crap. The Colts didn't do it. When your quarterback's good enough, you don't come in and reboot that. You come in and accentuate that. You come in and work with that. My opinion, but hell, I could be wrong. But that's the way it seems to me. Seems to me that if Rosen had anything to him, you would not be trading him for a 46 pick and picking a guy 5'10" that played basically 1 year of college football as a number one pick. So there you go. Double D's philosophy. Oh, and by the way, I'm so tired of Steve Kerr. I'm so tired. There's a great story. Like Steve Kerr, okay, a cop made a terrible decision and beat up a kid. Terrible. Awful. And, of course, the one incident that happens here, Steve Kerr goes in on it. I just saw where a cop pulled a guy over for not having a plate, takes the guy to his job interview. Where's Steve Kerr on that? Steve Kerr, my ass. I'm tired of Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, now he's talking about how other teams should act. Steve Kerr, my ass. And I'm watching him on my TV right now, sitting there all smug and arrogant and jackassy. Another for Steve. I'm tired of Steve Kerr. A very nice guy to me. Very nice. But my ass, Steve Kerr. Go coach at Bowling Green, then act so smug. You wouldn't win 5 games at Bowling Green, for crying out loud. Steve Kerr, my ass. He's become the Oprah. Just a whining. Oh, man, Mary Lou Retton's daughter's on that team. Got a 9.99. Wow, thank you, Pat Harris and Mark Turpin. Hey, Dan, I was talking to Gene Katie twice today. He asked what I was doing, said, listen to Dan Dockett's show. He said, I love that guy. He's speaking at the College Swim Coach Association Clinic. How about that? Hey, Dan, is being Mr. Basketball in the state of West Virginia similar to being the most handsome man at the Dockett's family reunion? It's not great. Not great. Steve Kerr, my ass. Then you look at his Twitter feed, and it's all, I hate Trump. Stop it. Jeez. I've had enough of Steve Kerr. I don't even care about the Trump stuff. I just care about, man. Look at Pat Harris. Honda was my idol. Sad when I read it. Seemed like a great guy. Quit name dropping. We regular listeners drop your name enough. We don't care who's contacting you. Just get him on the show. I know, but I want you to think I'm somebody, Pat. Yeah, this is true. This is interesting here. Listen to this on Hondo. Hey, Dan, when John, I read a book on Hondo, and this was all in it. Hey, Dan, when Havlicek went to camp with the Browns, he hadn't touched a football since high school. According to the Johnny Unitas biography, Havlicek was the final cut. Back then, the NBA was not a strong league. NFL was growing. I wonder if he would have chosen basketball if he had made the team. Thank goodness we got to see the greatness of 17 in a Celtics uniform. You know what's interesting about that? I had a friend that actually turned down, was a first or second round draft choice in the NFL, turned it down. And went to Dr. Bamba, who a lot of you know. Dr. Bamba, who longtime doctor, would turn down the NFL to go to dental school because you weren't making any money. I don't know that Havlicek ever came back to Indiana in all the time that I was at Indiana. I'm not sure. But I feel like I've met him. Maybe I haven't. Jerry Lucas came back. Jerry Lucas was a weird dude. He could memorize a phone book. All right, the race of the day is coming back, and that is not a throwaway line. He literally could do that. Look it up. I think I'm getting ready to have some beers tonight. I'm going to go to Fenway. I hope it gets rained out. How about a couple girls at bachelorette parties and no idea that Nashville was going to be Nashville tonight? They moved their bachelorette party to Nashville. Next thing you know, boom, we'll be back.
Last year, the Colts started a rapid rebuild with the NFL Draft.
With the 6th pick,
turning the boys in blue into a playoff contender.
Quentin Nelson.
Now it's time to find more pieces to our Super Bowl puzzle. The Fan continues live coverage of the 2019 NFL Draft tonight, beginning at 6:30. You are warned, AFC. We're coming for you. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive radio home of the Indianapolis Colts.
Do you owe the IRS or state back taxes that you can't afford to pay? If so, listen carefully, because you may qualify to have your debt dramatically reduced by up to 90%. You heard right. The IRS has made it easier than ever to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program may end any collection efforts against you, resolve your tax problem, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. And all you have to do is make one phone call to Victory Tax Solutions. The IRS can garnish your bank account, pension, and savings. So don't wait. If you have unfiled tax returns or unpaid tax debt to the IRS or state, these special programs are available to you now. Stop your worrying and call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions today to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands of dollars. For this free information, call 800-300-5056. 800-300-5056. That's 800-300-5056.
Hey, Dan Doggett here for Eubler Chevrolet. Go to driveeublerchevy.com. That's right, driveeublerchevy.com. The only place I know where you can ride before you buy.
When diamond expert Michael Clavenna worked at an ordinary jewelry retailer, he thought he was giving his customers the best value. Until he made the switch to Diamonds Direct.
But when I came to Diamonds Direct, I realized how wrong that was. I have so much more ability with this company to offer a bigger diamond at a higher quality for a lower price. It was a big surprise to me because I had been so ingrained with a different culture. I didn't believe it at first. I was very skeptical. So I spent a lot of time just looking at the diamonds that were in my inventory at Diamonds Direct, and I was blown away.
So take it from someone who's seen the difference firsthand. When it comes to diamonds, Diamonds Direct is the value leader.
I can get them bigger diamonds. I can get them more options to view in their price range. Overall, just offer a better value than I have at any other place I've worked. So don't be fooled by the phrase direct diamond importer, because you just can't get any closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Our company was started by former diamond wholesalers.
Diamonds Direct. Get store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
The spring and summer months here in Indiana can bring severe weather. And there's not one county in Indiana that hasn't experienced a tornado. So it's never too late to prepare for tornadoes and other severe weather. Get your emergency preparedness kit together with a 3-day supply of food and water for each member of your family. And don't forget your pets. Include flashlights and extra batteries, a weather radio, first aid supplies, and essential medications in your kit. Have a plan for what to do before, during, and after severe weather hits. Know the plan for your workplace and your kids' school, and practice your home plan at least once a year. Know where to turn to get severe weather information. Have a NOAA All Hazards weather radio with battery backup and tune into media outlets to know what severe weather is around you. Keep you and your family prepared this severe weather season. This message is brought to you by the National Weather Service, Indiana Public Safety Agencies, and the American Red Cross.
Hey, here on the Dan Doggett Show, 1070 The Fan, we do a horse race of the day from Indiana Grand Racing and Casino. Tweet comes from my account at Dan Doggett. Display around 2:15, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Race of the day plays now, 2:45. Retweet my tweet, get the winning horse. You win a VIP prize pack worth $100 in dining and betting. Race of the day at Indiana Grand Racing and Casino, sponsored by the Indiana Horse Racing Commission and Corona Extra USA. Here are those entered. So Long Joe, the one horse, Cody Smith has him. 2, Pablo's Duke, Doug Gard has him. 3 horse, Big John O, Mike Gary. 4 horses, Scratch. Rectified is the 5 horse, Brian Barger. 6 horse, Delightful Alphabet, Adam Bland. And the 7 horse is Pleasant Sunrise, and that's Lee Adams. Good luck.
The following is presented by the Indiana Thoroughbred Breed Development Program. From Indiana Grand Racing and Casino, it's time for the Corona Premier Race of the Day on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Corona Premier, the exceptional light beer.
And they're off. Looks like a nice clean break, well spread out.
First to have early foot, that's the 3, Big John O. He's about a half length in front of Pleasant Sunrise. That's a gap of 1.5 back to Rectified. Now we've got a gap of about 3 lengths now back to Pablo's Duke. Then Delightful Alphabet, and the trail early on is So Long Joe. Midway on the far turn now, that is still the 3, Big John O, but headed on the outside now by Pleasant Sunrise. Parker has her under a nice hand ride, measuring the 3 well. Then a little further back, length and a half, is Rectified. Fernando de la Cruz on the stick trying to get that one's attention. It's these 3 as they come down the lane. 23 3/5 for the opening quarter. That is now Pleasant Sunrise. Parker no longer sitting chilly. He is asking. Here comes the 5, Rectified with De La Cruz running out of territory. It's the 7, Pleasant Sunrise. Rectified is next. Then it's Big John O.
Just minutes from Indy, off I-74 in Shelbyville. Indiana Grand has live thoroughbred and quarter horse racing through November 6th, thanks in part to the Indiana Thoroughbred Breed Development Program. And keep listening for your chance to win with Corona Premier Race of the Day on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Your unused prescription drugs could end up in the wrong hands. Take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 27th from 10 until 2. Visit DEATakeback.com.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. Dan Dockage, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Vlad Guerrero's coming up. Man, does his follow-through look like his dad's? I hope the kid does a great job. I always liked his dad. He wears 27 like his dad. I always liked him. Man, he follows through like Pops, and that's a good thing. He's a big old dude, though, man. He got a big booty on him. He's a big, thick guy. I don't know how tall he is, but he is thick. Baseball's hard. Baseball's a hard sport, man. It's a hard sport. Man. Baseball, like, you know, remember when, and rightfully so, like everybody was all excited, and again, rightfully so, when Chris Bryant came up and they won, and man, he's struggling now. He's struggling like crazy right now. He's struggling hard. Baseball's tough. Really tough. Waiting on the results of the race of the day. I should have it here in a minute. Oh, no, we're having some technical difficulties. Oh, I can't wait for the weekend. It's going to be a good weekend. Hey, congratulations, Lee Adams. Lee Adams, Pleasant Sunrise with the W, man. Brought to you by Indiana Grand and Corona Extra USA. Lee Adams is the winner of today's race of the day. Tune in Tuesday, Wednesday, and, of course, Friday right now for your chance at a VIP pack, including $100 in dining and betting vouchers and more. And tweet us at Dan Dockage, at Kyle UIT. Hey, Lee, send me an email, and we'll make sure that we get you all hooked up. Or send Kyle an email, but send it to me, Dan at 1070 The Fan. I'll make sure that Kyle gets it. And we get you all hooked up with the race of the day and your prize pack. People that have gone in that prize package have had an absolute blast. They have. They have had a great time. $100 prize pack, race of the day at Indiana Grand is a fantastic prize. I don't have the copy for this, but congratulations to Decatur Central Softball. You're the BSN Sports 1070, The Fan, High School Team of the Week. Good for you guys. Decatur Central's good. I remember running around the softball parks the last couple of years with the lovely Lee Ross. And, you know, hey, if you hear anything bad about me tonight, it's straight coming from Harvard. I'm just telling you. Straight, I'm going to be at Harvard, and then we're going to go to the we are going to go to Fenway, and away we go. Phil Mickelson can throw a football. I bet Phil Mickelson was a pretty good athlete. On his Twitter page, He throws it pretty good. Good for him. If you want a good follow, a couple of you have asked me, if you want a good follow on the trial that's going on in college basketball, Adam Zagoria, Adamzagoria. Adam's a friend of mine, and he's an East Coast guy. He's been following this pretty strong. And I do believe absolutely nothing is going to happen in this trial of interest to coaches. Nothing. Zero. That's what I believe. Tonight, check out the Colts. 3 picks in the second round. It's going to be fun. Have a great, great weekend, everybody. I hope you have a blast watching the Colts and doing whatever it is you do. John is next.
Congratulations to our Indiana Pacers for hanging tough in the face of adversity after losing our best player early.
Oladipo is seated.
Gold didn't quit. But this year's end is only the beginning of better things to come. Full health, the NBA draft, and free agency are the path forward. The Pacers rebuild and reload, and you can hear it all here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan, your exclusive home of the Indiana Pacers.
Hey, it's Dan Doggett here for my friends at Just Add Water Boats. Did you know Just Add Water Boats has over 400 boats ready to go? This is the perfect time to buy a boat. Why, you ask? I'll tell you why. Because factory incentives make it so. Yamaha boats are rolling. They are beautiful. I have a 24-foot Yamaha jet boat, and I swear to God, I wish I had it 10 years ago when I could have more fun with it with my kids. And the reason we got it is we want the kids to come back around, hang out, and go boating with us. It is so much fun. Pontoon boats, a tri-tube can carry you. Can carry 2 fat guys, one me and one somebody else. They're beautiful as well. And don't forget the fishing boat. Vex has just unleashed their new fiberglass fishing boat. It's all at Just Add Water Boats, east side, right off 465, the only place I know of where you can ride before you buy.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Back then you got into a fist fight. Maybe you got a black eye. Maybe.
You've seen him on Netflix and Showtime.
Now? You don't know what this guy knows with this mixed martial arts.
Sebastian Maniscalco in the Stay Hungry Tour.
Could you withstand a strike to the peroneal nerve? I can't. I stubbed my toe. Down for 58 minutes.
Friday night, May 3rd, 9:30 p.m. Egyptian Room at Old National Center. Reserved seats on sale now at Old National Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com.
At Diamonds Direct, we tell you all the time all the great reasons to come see us. But the truth is, there are some reasons why you should not go to Diamonds Direct. Like if you want to pawn your old gold, we can't help you. If you want silverware, crystal, porcelain, or china, you won't find it at Diamonds Direct. See, at Diamonds Direct, we don't believe you can be all things to all people. If you try to be, you probably end up just being average with most of them. At Diamonds Direct, our focus is diamonds. Our DNA is diamonds and bridal jewelry, period. That's why we have up to 20 times the selection of diamonds you find at those other stores. It's why every major bridal designer in the world is found in our showcases. And it's why we can find the perfect diamond ring for you, whether your budget is $2,000 or $200,000. Diamonds